Well, feels good to be back, sort of. Hope you had a great Christmas weekend, your holiday weekend. You celebrate Hanukkah, Kwanzaa. We're back with our LA Sports Mega Block. But Travis Lee have the day off. Clinton Yates, the big CY, and the Cisco Kid at 710, Beto Duran are sitting in today for the fellas. 5 days until the new year, 2023, and in 1 week, 7 days, we officially begin the biggest year ever at ESPN LA. Don't miss it, Tuesday, January 3rd. All the shows are back. Live Imaging Tuesday returns, and we kick off 2023 with a bang, yo. Why do we say with a bang? It should be with a BAM! Meanwhile, producer Emily's here, producer Taylor, and producer Emily, for some reason today, has the Phil Collins Tarzan movie soundtrack stuck in her head. Well, I loved that Tarzan movie soundtrack. Phil Collins had some bangers on that one, like this one. Anyway, it's random, I know. Lakers back on the court tonight. We'll talk Rams. We'll talk about it all. Let's get it rolling. Clinton and Beto sitting in for Travis and Sliwa here Tuesday right now.
All right, happy Tuesday, kiddos. Want to thank everybody for joining us. It's your boy, the Big CY. Beto Duran is, well, I guess not in the building. I can't really say in the building if I'm not in the same building, Beto. That doesn't
No, you
really
can say that. I'm in the building.
You're in the building. I
Yes.
am not in the building. I am away from the building. You and Taylor are in the building. Emily is on the other side of the country. I'm on the other side of the city. It is the day after Christmas. We got a lot going on here. Beto, how are you? How was your Christmas? You're the family man here. So I want to know how your Feliz Navidad went.
Navidad was good, man. It was. It's my parents are 80, so I get to hang out with them and see them. You know, a lot of tamales and a lot of family time, and you know, my nieces came over. And like, there's a lot of them, but my brother's kids, Sarah and Samantha, one of them just got married, so seeing the new addition to the family is always cool. And then me being Tío Beto,
right?
You know, you show up at 11 o'clock. Of course, there's going to be a tequila that I got to serve to you. And when the guy says, I don't drink, and I said, I don't care, this is an expensive bottle, you can sip. And the guy does. Very good approval right there.
Okay, so slow down. So you got a new guy. You said new addition as if there was a baby, but this is just a grown man entering the family.
It might as well be a baby.
As an in-law.
Yeah.
So this guy comes in. Does he know who you are? Is he familiar with what he's going to have to deal with when Tío Beto arrives, or is this blindsiding?
He saw me at the wedding a couple months ago and was like, "Oh, so that's your okay." And you know, they're non-drinkers, so at their wedding, I had a tailgate, and everybody knew go to Beto's truck because there might be a cooler that looks like a present, but it's not.
ESPN 710 All-Star softball game style. Go to Beto's truck before the game, and that's where the booze is. Yeah.
Nah, but he was cool. It's not that they don't drink. It's just more of like, I'd rather not. Especially at 11 o'clock on Christmas Day when, you know, he's at my parents' house and it's like, oh, hey, nice to see you, abuelita, and hey, here's a shot right here. And then the other son-in-law who got married last year, he knows the Tío Beto vibe, so he was all about it. He's like, oh yeah, he's all about it. So it was good. It was good to see people and you know, just the family being around and stuff like that. And this travel has been a disaster for everybody. So,
bro,
we'll
get to that.
I was affected bad.
We'll get to that soon because I have a whole other thing I want to discuss about that.
But Christmas is good, man. Christmas is always
good to hear. Did you get any cool gifts? Like, where are you in the gift phase of life? I don't get gifts anymore, so I buy myself gifts. That's how that works.
My daughter Michaela is 12, and yesterday messing with her, I said, "Hey, how come you didn't give me anything for Christmas?" And she said, "Because you always tell me don't get you anything. I'm that deal. Like, I'd rather give than receive. I don't need anything. If I need something, I'm gonna buy it.
Right.
And it just, you know, the kids know. Like, I don't need it. Presents is what I need. That's what matters at the age.
That's what's up. What's up. Yeah, I didn't really get. My dad sent me a card. That was nice.
Okay.
For those of you who don't know, my parents are divorced, and Christmas is always a total disaster. So
Still?
I'm here, bro. Don't even get me started. Still and forever. Okay, it is a mess. My dad's overseas with my younger brothers and sisters, and long story. But I'm here alone, thank you very much. So I did quite a few things around my apartment because I am down with the sickness, as they say in certain alternative songs from the 2000s or maybe the 90s. And I'm here by myself. So I've watched a couple Christmas movies that you've never heard of that I'm going to recap later in the program, which were fantastic. I love a good random Christmas movie with actors that I've sort of heard of, but maybe seen somewhere else, but don't really know where they're from, and now I center them to that movie. So that happened.
Christmas movies. Okay, that's gonna be
You don't like
interesting.
Christmas movies?
No,
I love
when you said
hokey
random
Christmas
ones.
movies.
What,
No, random one is in like if you turn on, let's just say, I don't know, Oprah's network, Hallmark. They're famous Christmas movies. It's a Wonderful Life is a famous Christmas movie.
Mm-hmm.
Home Alone is a famous
Yes.
Christmas movie. Then there are movies that are just about random scenarios that you might as well have plucked out of a hat in 3 different situations and said, pick this town, pick one job, pick one thing to overcome, and then boom, there's a love story. There's a lot of those. So I
The
watched
love
a couple
story.
of those.
Yeah,
Yes,
the love
exactly.
story.
I watched a couple of those. Other than that, though, I've been chilling. Emily, though, is the star of the show today. For those of you who don't know, Emily is back home. I'm currently looking at Emily's childhood bedroom.
Oh, is that what that is?
Yes, that's what that is. Upon which there is
Yeah.
a chalkboard behind her that has quite a few, let's just say, scribbles on it from over the years. Emily, please describe to us.
That's
what
a chalkboard?
Yes, right?
I gotta
Yes.
get closer. Hold on, I'll put the mic away.
Please describe to us what your Christmas situation has been. And good to see you.
Right. So good to see you guys too. So my chalkboard wall has been painted on. So I guess it was painted on when I was like in 5th grade, somewhere in there. My whole room is Steelers. So all you can see is the little bit of yellow, but it's all Steelers.
Ah, okay.
But everybody who's ever like came for a sleepover or a hangout in my room has signed my wall. So it's been staying like that since like middle school. So it's been the same forever. But yeah, I just got home yesterday. I flew home yesterday. Thank God there was no like craziness with my flight and anything. But I've realized that my parents are very big fans of the show. And
oh, really?
Oh.
This program.
Oh,
The Alan
they
and Sliwa
started
show.
they started to kind of quote back inside jokes to me from the show, and it's just really weird. So
Hold on.
yeah, there's a lot to unpack there.
Please tell me your mom is dropping Sedale Threat jokes. You know what I'm saying? Sliwa style about old Lakers that nobody's ever heard of.
No, not as much as
Eddie
the old
Jones.
Lakers. More like, okay, so a couple weeks ago we had the debate over like Spotify versus Apple Music, all that good stuff. So
Yeah.
Sophia, one of the interns, called Taylor a know nothing and like
Whoa.
unhinged know nothing for
Unhinged,
liking,
yeah. Totally valid.
for liking Apple Music.
What?
And so then now my family will say unhinged know nothing out of nowhere, and I'm just like, guys, this is a lot.
Why are you guys
and
talking
then,
about me?
Wait, any chance your mom or dad come onto the show? They just pop in.
High chance. So
High
I
chance.
can ask them too. Yeah,
Okay.
they're
Let's set
here.
that. Hold on.
Yeah.
Let's set that up for tomorrow. I can't deal with that right
Okay.
now.
No.
That'll derail
Okay.
the
There's too
whole
much.
show.
There's too much.
That'll derail the whole show. Having various parentals in the building.
Yeah,
That's
what are your parents'
Right.
names?
Hilarious though.
Carrie and Rob.
Carrie and Rob.
Carrie and Rob.
Yes.
Okay.
Package
And
deal.
then my sister, when she came to pick me up from the airport at Dulles, she was listening to the Travis and Sliwa show from Friday.
Wow.
So I was just like, okay, I can't take that. My whole life is just my work now.
Wow,
So
that's cool
that's
that your
always
parents and your family support you. As my daughter told me yesterday, I don't even know where you work sometimes. So-
Well, that's different for you, Beto, because you're all over the little
yeah,
continent.
but I tell
all
her
the
what
time.
I'm doing, and she's like, whatever. But when I told her I got some Disneyland passes from Bergman, oh, ESPN, we love it now.
Suddenly, she
Right,
knows
Yeah.
exactly.
exactly.
What you
Wait, Emily, so that chalkboard behind you is like the Green Monster, right? It's a rite of passage. People have to sign that.
Yeah, exactly. It's like people sign it. It's from, and they also never get deleted. It's like there forever.
Delete
So
it.
there's
It's
people,
a chalkboard. It's called
Or I guess-
erased.
erased. Sorry, no, I'm just
Delete.
a little Gen Z over here. But yeah, everybody that has been to my room has signed it.
Nah, there's been a couple of people that have been deleted, huh?
I'm sure some.
If this is from your childhood, there's that
right.
Becky, boom, deleted.
Friends forever.
Yeah, she's dead to me. Don't worry about it. But no, it's more of like, I don't know. There's just some preservation. I have all of my old awards from participation in sports on
Okay.
my wall over here too. So
Whoa.
All right.
there's all that good
Yeah,
stuff.
this is a whole
Yeah.
So
different
we
show.
can pan the camera to that later. Taylor, how was your Navidad, sir?
Oh, it was great. I just kicked it in L.A. Glad I didn't go back home because there's a lot of snow right now.
I was going to say, so what did you do? What is a young, eligible human being like yourself do on Christmas Day? Did you go, like, sit on the beach and croon to all of the other lonely
Croon?
people out there with
So
your
I
guitar?
went to Rat Beach in Torrance.
Yeah, the boy.
Hung out there
I
and
wasn't far off.
spent some time with a travel nurse I met at one of my shows. And she's
Oh,
here, so, yeah.
hey!
Is that
I
right?
was kicking it.
A travel nurse.
Any
Gotta
chance
stay warm,
she
right?
can work for Southwest and clear things up right now?
Bro.
That's a mess.
That's a whole other
Yeah.
situation. But, yeah, man, so I want to
Good
thank
for
everybody.
you.
I know, right? What is it? Travel nurse is in she travels different places to be a nurse?
Yeah, so she'll be 3 months in one city, and then she can extend if she wants. So, yeah, see how it goes.
Maybe she'll extend.
Who knows?
Doing it right.
Or
That's
maybe not.
exactly the kind of arrangement. If you're a young man, a young human in Taylor's position, that's exactly the kind of person you want. Oh, yeah, here for 3 months. Doesn't work out, I'm elsewhere. You know, it doesn't affect everything during the midst of the situation. You can just say, hey, listen, we're spending this time together. No real pressure.
Yeah, it's a shame you had to leave, right?
Yeah. And she's a nurse, so she's got all kinds of weird hours, which is perfect for a musician like
Works
you.
nights, yeah.
Yeah, oh, it's perfect. I'll see you at 1 a.m.
Balances out.
Oh, there you go.
Were there gifts involved, Taylor?
No.
No,
let him answer.
I just met her.
Good,
so
good, good.
Very well.
no gifts, you know.
God, don't ever buy anybody gifts.
Don't want to get too serious.
No, don't buy gifts unless they're your wife.
Is that the rule?
Yeah.
That's the rule. That's
You can
your
buy a
rule,
girlfriend
Beto?
a gift.
I mean, a
Fiance.
girlfriend, wife, you know what I mean? A significant other. Other than that, they'll forget
Okay.
that.
I bought myself some gifts this holiday season.
Oh,
which
yeah.
which I'll get to in a little bit. Some of you might have seen if you
Yeah.
follow me on
I got questions.
Twitter
I
or
got
IG
questions.
at Clinton Yates. What do you mean you got questions?
Oh,
you can
lots
chill
of
on
questions.
your questions, all right?
Oh,
Listen,
man.
let me tell you something. At this stage of my life, somebody who has a lot of things, like you say, Beto, but I don't got no wife, I don't got no kids. I barely got
Congrats.
a mom and dad that are going to give me any gifts. So when I kind of get my own stuff, you know what I mean? I'm going to go for something that makes me actually feel good. And guess what? Legos make me feel good.
Man.
We'll get to more of that on the other side. He's Beto. I'm Clinton. You're listening to Alan Sliwa. But first, a word from AutoZone. By the way, AutoZone.
Favorite gift giver here in the office is John Ireland because he's rich and he gives you money.
Really easy. John Ireland. He gives you money and he gives you a decent amount of it.
Emily, she gives the best gifts. She's thoughtful and gives it consideration. It's not quick and easy. She's a good gift giver.
Clinton Yates. He gives amazing gifts.
Raj just got, last year a guy got me some bourbon, so I think Travis kind of knows what to get.
I think Mason. He and I have a lot of similar interests. I'll just leave it at that.
Greg Bergman.
John Ireland is the guy. He's got the dough. He's got the gated community. I think I'd get the best gift from him.
I would like to get something from Chris Morales.
Definitely Scott Kaplan because he gives you gifts from his friends' companies and then asks you to post about it on social media.
Scott Kaplan, because it'll have cited written all over it, or going to be some bad material robe kind of thing he gave us last year, whatever it was.
Don't even finish the question. Sliwa.
Bird, because he doesn't stock his fridge very well, so I don't think he'd be that good at giving gifts.
I think Taylor probably is not going to care that much, so I'm going to go Taylor on that one. I'll go Taylor.
Sorry, Emily, but you probably just trying to give me a Spotify account. I don't want that.
Steve Mason.
Alan Sliwa, no question. Alan Sliwa, don't want a gift from him. I don't think he's got good taste. He's got a Pixel phone. I mean, come on.
How about you behind the phone there, behind the camera?
What color is Rudolph's nose?
Come on, Keith. It's red.
It's red. There you go. Who did Michael Jackson see kissing Santa Claus?
His mother.
No, mommy.
Mommy.
I saw mommy.
A mother, but I
kissing
said mother,
Santa
mommy,
Claus.
same thing.
Santa Claus.
Yeah.
But,
Mommy, mother, kissing
well,
Santa
it's
Claus.
mommy. It's not mother.
Well, it's the same thing.
How do you say Merry Christmas in Spanish?
Merry Christmas. Oh yeah, that's right. Feliz Navidad. I knew that in elementary school. What am I thinking?
You worked with producer Jorge for years. He
Yeah,
taught you.
true.
He taught you.
Name Santa's reindeers.
Oh boy.
Oh God, yeah. So you got Rudolph, Pixar or somebody like that? Blitzen.
Donner.
No, not the Donner.
No.
No.
Oh.
No. Blixer or Flixer or something.
We got Rudolph.
Flixer. Man, I don't remember.
Finish the lyrics. I just want you for my own, more than you could ever know.
My Christmas. No, my Mariah Carey.
Yeah, but finish the lyrics.
All I want
for you Christmas is you. Yeah, Mariah. I knew it was Mariah.
Good job, Keith.
Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, and thanks for tuning in each and every single morning on 710 ESPN.
In LA 2023. We got Clinton Yates and Beto sitting in right now on Travis and Sliwa on your Tuesday on 710.
Nice. Good work, Taylor. Good work. Down with the sickness. This is what we call tremendous production. We don't have to go through 10 weeks of off-season work. We don't have to run routes out of high school nobody's ever heard of. When the timing is there and we need a first down, I drop back, I throw the ball to Taylor, he gets 2 feet down, and we get a first down. Good job. We're out of you.
Did not
now,
expect a disturbed reference today.
Did not expect that at all, but that's what happened. The Rams blew somebody out this weekend. The Lakers lost the game. My Bolts are in the playoffs. We'll get to all that later. All right, we'll get to all that later. But most importantly, we got to talk about what's going on not only in my own apartment but also around the country. Beto, you mentioned the travel situation.
Oh, man.
I turned on my TikTok and my television when I was down for the count just lying in my bed, and I'm looking at people screaming at each other in airports, slip and sliding all over Seattle hills, making cannonball runs across the country in rental cars with double-digit ride hours behind them, or in front of them, rather, with strangers. This kind of thing freaks me out, Beto. We both travel a lot for work, and, every time I see one of these situations, I get kind of anxious because I know what that feeling is like when you're somewhere and you're thinking, if I can't get to the next point, somebody's going to get hurt.
Yeah, it's a mess with Southwest and this shutting down airports, and it all started not just the day after Christmas. It started before that. So my son was actually in Portland when that storm came. They were up there for a basketball tournament. Airport shut down, and they drove home 15 hours from Portland to L.A.
What?
Yeah, because there was no flight out. They were going to be stuck for a couple days.
Take me through this. What time of day did you get the word from him that this was potentially going to be a situation?
Well, we knew because the week before Christmas week, they were in Salem playing a basketball tournament up there, and that's why I was in Portland, and I met Ed Guzman, sports editor at LA Times, and he said hello and everything.
I love Ed. Ed's my old editor.
Exactly. We had a great conversation about you and Mark Spears and Anscape and everything else. Good dude, right? Took me to get pizza. So he's telling me, he's like, "There's a storm coming. Hopefully, you guys are able to get out." I'm like, "Yeah," but he's like, "It's rain. It shouldn't be too bad." He goes, "But it might be affected wherever the next city's going to be," and that's exactly what happened. So they had a night flight, and during the day we started seeing the alerts of maybe. Then sure enough, they're at the airport, had returned the rental vans that they were using, flight canceled, right back to the rental car. Let's get the vans that we just checked in and let's go home. So they drove the 16 hours from Portland down to LA, and then yesterday morning, his team, high school team, was supposed to go to Arkansas for a tournament.
That's out.
So exactly, they had a 5 a.m. flight connecting in Denver, supposed to go to Arkansas, St. John Bosco High School.
Yeah.
The kids are already exhausted just coming back from Portland. They spent Christmas Eve and Christmas with their family. Great, catch up the bodies, do some laundry. And about 1 in the morning, we get the alert saying your flight is now being canceled. Not delayed, out, canceled, done. So luckily, I didn't buy a trip to Arkansas to go see this tournament because Emily's like, "Hey, do you want to work this week?" "Yeah, I'll take some money." So if not, I'd be out of luck. So they didn't know what to do. Yesterday, their coach was like, "We're going to try to get you somewhere else," because everybody else is getting affected. So teams that were coming to California for tournaments couldn't go. In San Diego, where Southwest shut down at the airport, teams that are supposed to play in this big San Diego tournament right there by Kaplan's house in Torrey Pines, they couldn't go. So our team was able to. They literally went to practice yesterday with luggage, not knowing where they were going to go afterwards. They might go to Palm Springs, so they're in San Diego. They're going to play in about 30 minutes. So that was that case for my son. Now, my daughter, yes, well, wait, there's more. My sister lives in Denver. My sister actually has a house in Breckenridge. So my daughter, who's 12, like, "Hey, look, your son's in, your brother's in Arkansas for a week. You're gone. I'm going to be working with the big CY and Emily and everybody else at 710. And then I'm going to the Alamo Bowl with Sedano tomorrow. Boom. Daughter, I can't take care of you. Boom. Sister, empty nester. Send Michaela up here. No problem. We'll take her snowboarding. We're doing everything else. A 12-year-old. Hey, Mija, here's your Christmas present. You're not getting a gift, but you get to go snowboarding for a couple of days. Got her gear, packed, everything.
Breckenridge is nice, bro. I've been. It's a nice little resort town.
Yeah, it's nice. It's super expensive, too.
Yes,
and
it is.
Sure enough, Yesterday's flight for my daughter coming out of Long Beach, a direct flight. Delayed, canceled. Finally, just like we pulled the plug on that. So now, poor Mija's at home. I had a call. I was telling Amanda this. I had to call Breckenridge. They're like, yo, I need my money back because that's a lot of money. And they're like, well, you're not the only one. Half this mountain's going to be empty now because nobody's coming into Denver. Nobody's getting out here. It's just a disaster of what's going on. So it's not just us, but like that's why our own Carlos Saisu, he's stuck somewhere in the country.
Where's Carlo?
I don't know, but his Instagram shows that he's in an airport upset. And this is the nicest kid, and he's cursing up a storm on his social media.
We got to track down Carlo. We need to check in from him. If he's stuck somewhere in America, I'd like to know what's going on. I don't even say that facetiously. I mean,
no, seriously, again, we have no idea where he's at.
Again, Beto and I travel a lot and move around a lot for work, and the only reason that matters is because sometimes, you find yourself in a situation where it's you versus another person, whether it's coming down to that last rental car, whether you're both on standby, whether or not you got to fight some guy for that last Egg McMuffin or whatever that's on the shelf. I mean, like, the world turns in to complete Lord of the Flies when folks are trying to get home or get to wherever they want to be, and all of a sudden something gets disrupted. And I say that because sometimes, you see these videos of people and they're wilding out on, I don't know, airline attendants or whatever it may be. And listen, I'm not here advocating for the abuse physically or verbally of anyone, not even close. But some of these things, bro, I understand. I saw this one video of this woman. She was like, my bag's right there, and I can't touch it because of your stupid policy. And I'm waiting for my family who's right out there. And if we wait any longer, we're going to get stuck in this squall. But if I grab this bag, somebody's going to arrest me, and then I can never get on a plane. She had a real issue. And I was like, wow, that's actually a pretty tough conundrum overall.
Yeah, and that's what I told my son. This is why you never check a bag. This is why carry on only, no matter what. You just do your best you can because you never know. Like, that way you don't have to worry about that. But also, the Bronco beat writers that were here on Sunday covering the Broncos-Rams game, these dudes are getting back today. I was telling the man a story about Troy Rank, who covers the Broncos for the ABC station out there. I've known Troy forever, former baseball writer. He started tweeting his adventures of his flight delayed on Sunday night after the game. The dude, today, it's Tuesday, right?
Yeah.
He finally landed at a home, and he had to go cover because the Broncos fired their coach. He flew out of Palm Springs.
What?
Yes. He couldn't get a flight. Finally, he found a flight in Palm Springs on Tuesday morning because he had friends. So he found a rental car, which he said got jacked up crazy. He was doing this is a gamer right here, still doing his TV reports, his hits from L.A. because the Broncos fired their coach.
Right.
And on his Twitter,
he had to be somewhere.
He had to be somewhere. He said he found somebody in the lobby at the Burbank Marriott where he wasn't even staying, but he ended up there. And it's like, hey, can you record me with my phone as I got to do a stand-up for?
Wow.
Yeah, it's just those adventures, everything else. And Emily, I actually sent you a story, right? Yesterday? I sent it to you, right? Didn't I?
What story?
About
Yeah, you did.
Yeah. The head coach at Pittsburgh, he hooked up the players from, let's see here.
The head football coach for the Pittsburgh Panthers.
No, the Pitt Panthers, the head coach.
That's Pat Narduzzi.
Narduzzi.
Former defensive coordinator at Miami of Ohio. I actually know Pat.
Yeah, so Pat Narduzzi hooked up a couple players from UTEP who were stuck in the Dallas airport. Now, Pitt is going to play UCLA in the Sun Bowl.
So that's an unrelated matter.
He saw these guys, 3 players from the UTEP basketball team stuck in Dallas, said, hey, guys, let's go. Get in the car. And he drove them to El Paso. Coach Joe Golding from UTEP said, the coach from UTEP found the players from Pitt stuck in Dallas.
Oh, it's the other way around.
The other way around. I'm sorry.
All right. No, very well. Yeah, same difference.
So the head coach of UTEP basketball found 3 Pitt players that were trying to get to the bowl game, and he gave them a ride to Dallas. That's 9 hours right there. So you just got to do what you could do to get everything else there, man. It's adventure. And
I'm just saying, man, we reach our love out to everybody because while, and by the way, all you people who are getting on, like, your social media is being like, oh, I'm seeing people freeze to death around the country. Must be terrible because I'm in SoCal. Don't do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, posting a picture of yourself on the beach is one thing, but being the small person to be like, oh, this is why I pay rent in Southern California.
Hey, I'm all about it. You be petty.
Listen,
be petty.
Petty is one thing. Unnecessarily
Taylor,
mean
how's California weather for you?
Is enough.
I'm not going to gloat. I'm not going to gloat.
Thank you. Gloating is the word I'm looking at. We've got an update on Carlo, apparently. He's still stuck at home. What is the update, Emily?
Oh, man. Poor kid.
Emily, what's the Carlo update?
I'm updated. Yes,
My bad.
sorry, I had to unmute myself. So he says cancellations are all over the place. He's had 3 flights canceled, completely canceled. And then he's trying to get to Atlanta with his wife. But he says, like, definitely others got worse. So he's trying to be still a kind little guy. But, it still sucks having 3 flights canceled. I think his wife's family is from Atlanta, which is why they're trying to get back.
I actually knew that for a fact. Wow. That'll test the relationship there, Beth.
Yeah, sucks.
Yeah, that's when you learn something about people.
You learn a lot of things about human beings when you're stuck in airports with them.
Everybody gets annoying. It doesn't matter. You could just be sitting there doing nothing, and their breathing will annoy you because you've been around that person.
What's
for
your guys'
18
go-to for, like, getting through a long delay or a cancellation? Do you go to the bar? Do you get food? Like, what's your go-to to
I have a multitude of methods, but you guys can go first.
I mean, who are you talking to? I'm over here trying to get my sober new son-in-law, nephew, whatever he is, to be
That's a good point. You're over here. Sure. Serving up tequila shots for people at 11 in the morning.
Exactly. I am the do not get mad person. I get that from my dad, where you just say namaste, stay cool, because you can't control what you can't control, right? So why get mad? You're not going to get mad at the employee because they're not trying to delay you. So I hate when people are berating employees. So I just get to the bar, sit there, and I do sports talk radio for 4 hours, right? I mean, I get it. I don't talk sports, but I'll just sit to the bar. I'm like, hey, look, we're all stuck here. If you you need a drink, man, we all need a drink. We're not going anywhere. We're stuck. One time it got to me where I was trying to go to Miami for something, and I was in the airport 12 hours. Ooh. And it was just the delay, and it was weird. And I've been stuck in Houston for 18 hours on my way to Cancun to do a fight, and hurricane coming through or a tropical storm, something. So we're just stuck in Houston, and I slept in the Houston airport. And you there's no need to get mad. That's just my attitude.
No, I feel you on that. I mean, and the main reason you don't want to get mad is because you don't want to upset yourself. Yeah. Never mind anybody else. That's the main reason, is to keep your composure. Now, personally, my advice for anybody who's stuck in an airport for a long time, if you've got the money or you've got the availability, the bar for as long as possible is always the option, because all hell breaks loose when the bar closes, and then you're screwed. That's the big disaster. So if it's an option, go to the bar for as long as possible, because at the very least, you might get hooked up and you might get drunk, and then you'll just forget about all the rest of the time, and that happens differently. But other than that, I mean, it's obvious how I pass the time in airports when it's delayed. Star Wars. I download everything. I've got every Star Wars whatever you want on my iPad for this exact emergency purpose. All sorts of, I don't know, not even just the movies. I got all sorts of episodes of shows that you guys have never even heard of related, Lego, Star Wars, and all this other crap. So that's what I do.
Whatever you need to entertain yourself.
That was a tease there. I mentioned Legos. We'll talk about that.
Yeah, I'm curious.
By the way, the Lakers lost the game on Christmas Day. Big shocker. We'll talk about that next. This is Travis and Slee. I'm Clinton. He's Beto. It's ESPN 17. Travis and Sliwa, 710 ESPN, Beto and Yates. I've botched the name of this show already. I'm one of those people that calls it the Alan Sliwa Show all the time. It's because Alan
would love that.
We don't need to get into that. But long story short, I did that. Speaking of Sliwa, Beto, the Lakers played a basketball
Poor guy.
on on Christmas, and it went pretty much as you might expect. The Lakers were kind of in it. The Lakers even had a lead early in that first half, to the point that they looked like a good basketball team on the road against the Mavericks. Then, of course, halftime came, which apparently is the biggest defender in the Lakers' entire franchise history at this point, because every time they come out of halftime, something changes. Their third quarters are exactly terrible, Beto. It completely swung the game, and by the time the game ended, it was a bit of a blowout. Did you watch that game? I know you were dealing with a lot of stuff. Did you see the Lakers?
Christmas
and what do you
Day?
think about their third quarters? Yeah.
Christmas Day is made for me, bro. I sit on the couch, and, besides handing out the tequila, I'm also handing out gambling advice. I'm like, hey, here we go. We got to do this. We got to do that. I was, kid you not, football out. I was off football Christmas Day because after working so many beautiful Christmas Day Laker games, Kobe against LeBron, Kobe against Shaq, and all just great games where the marquee game was in LA, where it was the 2:30 window. That's what you do. So for many years, that's what I knew. I'd wake up, little gifts, and boom, be gone to Staples Center, be there by 10:30, 11, have breakfast with AB and all the guys in the media room. Great. Now the Lakers are getting sent on the road because they're not the marquee team.
That's very true.
And they're getting a window where you're like, not exactly going to be the national game, right? They're there, but they're not really. So the Laker game for me on Christmas Day was background noise. It was on the app. It wasn't It wasn't on TV, right? It wasn't the main thing that I'm watching. Because I knew this was coming. And I hate sounding like that guy, but you just said it. Once you get to halftime, you're looking at this and you're like, are they really going to do enough? Are they really going to stick around? And then you have the emotion in Dallas, their Dirk statue and everything else. Like Dave McMenamin did a great job on his social media showing you the behind the scenes of what's going on. Luka showing up in a cowboy hat in that old school car. I'm like, oh man, forget this. So they're battling around. Then you see what the Lakers have on their team, and you see their roster, and you're like, damn, LeBron's really going to try to will them? With what? With who? With what is
Starting
going on?
lineup was pretty tough, Taylor. Let's get this sound. Here's what LeBron James had to say on what life is like without Anthony Davis.
Without AD is just very difficult, very challenging. I think at one point we had a lineup of I think AR was the tallest guy on the court. So it's not a rocket scientist to figure that out.
No, you don't need a rocket scientist to figure that out. You probably could use a rocket scientist at this point to rebuild the franchise. But here's my issue, maybe not issue, but here's my concern, Beto, with a lot of – listen, I've said what I've said about what I think about where the franchise needs to go from a front office and a roster construction standpoint. But from a team game-to-game, play-to-play standpoint, the third quarter thing is a real issue because of this. The age of the team is one thing in terms of their skill players. But if you're consistently losing third quarters, what it means is that every team notices something about you that you cannot fix. And if they go in at halftime and they make an adjustment to the point that as soon as the next quarter is done, you're out of the game, bro, that bodes extremely poorly if you apply that to a playoff series format where it's all about game to game and quarter to quarter adjustments. This does not trend well for anything involving this team should they make the playoffs, which almost feels like a ridiculous notion to even discuss at this point.
Yeah, should they make the playoff? Like, if they do, where are they going to get into that? Playoff to the playoff?
The play-in?
Yeah.
No, but do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like,
I hear you,
if you've got a
man.
team that's consistently getting popped on adjustments in the third quarter, think about the Dubs. The Warriors were a team that in their greatest form, those third quarters are where they dominate because they make the adjustments and they come out. If you're on basically the losing end of that every single time it happens, that's not just a talent thing. That's a coaching thing. That's a morale thing on some level. I'm not going to say that loss was any worse than any of the others because without AD and him out indefinitely, you don't know what you're going to get. But even with him, this has been an issue. You know what I mean? What happens in the third quarter with this team? It's bleak, brother. Very bleak.
The lack of depth was a big concern coming into the season. You have LeBron now in the post-game pressers talking about the issues, right? It's always you're post-game pressers. As a player, you're going to say some things. You're going to know what's going on, right? You're going to let us know how you're feeling. But when you start making the excuse of like, look, our biggest guy was this guy. Look who I'm with. Look what's going on here. Look who I'm surrounded by. Like, hello, hey, help. Anybody hearing me? Like, and then LeBron being the passive aggressive guy he is, where he's like, well, I'm here, I'm showing up, I'm doing my job, right? Now it's, where's the depth at? We knew that there was always going to be an issue with them, the lack of guys coming off the bench. But even the players you have coming off the bench, you're not exactly like, oh, what's going on? And this is the talk at Christmas morning. When I was in Oregon high school team, they're talking about Lakers issues because this is something that teenagers right now are watching a Laker team, but they don't know that the Lakers used to be good. You know, these are,
of course they don't.
16-year-olds who they knew Kobe, but they were little. They were in elementary when Kobe was doing the Kobe things, right? So they don't quite know. All they know right now is that the Lakers are in a funk. They're not good, and they're not really fun to watch. That's another thing.
I'm glad to hear that, quite frankly, Beto. I'm glad to know that young teenage basketball players are not looking at that franchise as if it is some crown jewel to be adored.
No.
Because right now it is not remotely.
You know what I hear a lot of?
What's that?
The Grizzlies. Ja Morant. You hear
the Grizzlies are talking way too much noise.
No, but I mean, this is...
Yeah, I get it. They're the fun team in the league for young kids.
Yeah. Lakers are not the fun team. They're not the marquee team. Heck, that Denver game that Sedano worked was more fun than what's going on.
That was a great game,
It
by
is.
the way.
And usually when you have the 7:30 game on Christmas, that's the throwaway. Like, man, this is just a game for the West Coast that, you know, you've had too much turkey or ham, whatever. Then like, you're up late because you're surrounded by Christmas wrapping around you, right? And that was but that's it annoys me to watch a Laker game because you know that they could be so much better. You know that
I?
No, it just you look at the pieces just on paper, right? You look at it, and you're like, damn. And then there's always, but when is that AD going to get hurt? But when is LeBron going to just be here, there, not all the time there?
Right.
When are, like, okay, when he said AR was the tallest guy on our team, who's AR?
Austin Reeves.
I mean, like,
is it?
I mean,
I'm assuming.
That's the only person I can think of. I mean, that's the funny thing about this team is,
normally a Laker team that's dominant, we will know every single player down to the 15th
right,
guy.
But we're so far.
That's
out of
my
that
problem
realm
with them. The fact
right
that we're
now,
that far away.
877-710 ESPN, 877-710-3776. If you've got any thoughts on the Lakers or travel nonsense, hit me up. Bet those kids have all sorts of problems going through various machinations in order to get back home for Navidad. I know a lot of people that have been dealing with all sorts of nonsense. Emily, you were a little lucky. You said you flew United, so you didn't have any problems. Did you portend anything going wrong, or did you just get kind of slide through before all the problems got there?
I was really nervous. I mean, I was like looking at all like the radar and stuff going into it, but luckily, like my flight was on time, but it was overbooked, and so they did the whole thing where they're like, okay, we need 2 people to go fly tomorrow. You fly first class at $500.
$500.
Yeah,
that's okay. Plus first class, 500 plus first class ain't bad.
You didn't think about it?
Yeah. I did think about it, but I'm also like, I had to be here for the show today, and you know, I don't go home very often, so I don't want to delay it all. But I was also just, it is in the back of your head, but also, how do you overbook a flight?
That's what they do.
You know, it's like it seems like a pretty easy thing to be like, okay, there's 5 seats, we're not going to sell 7 seats. Like, I don't know.
Oh,
it just kind of seems like a little stupid.
Come on, Emily. You've flown long enough to know.
I'm just saying it's kind of an easy thing to avoid doing, but I don't know.
You knew,
but it was a very full flight.
You knew.
I'm glad you stop it, Beto. I'm glad you made it back. We would not have wanted you producing the Travis and Sliwa show from an airport lobby.
You should have. That would have been great for the show.
I would do it. I would do a remote.
Good content.
Doing a remote at LAX, like what that would be like
from the bar. And
that would be fantastic.
Emily, if they would have said $1,000 at first class,
I would have definitely thought about it. I would.
1,000 is different. Yeah, 1,000 is
because it's the next day too. It's not like I'm getting off and it would have been early next day, so it's like I wouldn't miss that much.
And the first class.
Yeah, your parents would understand.
Did you? She flew to Dulles, Beto, which, if you are not familiar, some of you are very familiar with Die Hard as a Christmas movie. Die Hard 2 pretty much takes place entirely in Dulles Airport.
That's that's the other DC one, right?
Yes, it's the one in Virginia. It's way far away.
Yeah.
Yes.
Is that like flying into Burbank or what? Or like Ontario?
No.
John
it's
Wayne?
No, it's not even close to that. Dulles is like a big, it's like designed by what's his last name? He's like a big Finnish, if I'm getting his nationality.
There's like a train that takes you to all the different places. Like, it's very big.
Yeah,
and so
Dulles
you have
Airport
to kind of.
Yeah. Dulles and Reagan, right? That's all I got.
Yeah,
Yes.
Dulles and Reagan, also known as National. But anyway, the point is that I'm glad everybody made it, and I know that airport travel during the holidays can be a pain in the behind. That's why I'm glad I didn't.
Hey, and if you're at the airport listening to us, we're here for you.
Hit us up.
When you're talking about how do you pass the time at the airport, listen to ESPN LA app. Let's go.
Let us know how much of a disaster it is. But Christmas movies, I have watched a few. We'll get to that later, but I'm very, very excited to tell you about some of the things that I watched because I'm going hopping mad by myself in my apartment. It's Travis and Sliwa. I'm Clint Yates. He's Beto Duran. 7.
Favorite gift giver here in the office is John Ireland because he's rich and he gives you money.
It's really easy. John Ireland. He gives you money and he gives you a decent amount of it.
Emily, she gives the best gifts. She's thoughtful and gives it consideration. It's not quick and easy. She's a good gift giver.
Clinton Yates. He gives amazing gifts.
Raj just got, last year a guy got me some bourbon, so I think Travis kind of knows what to get.
I think Mason. He and I have a lot of similar interests. I'll just leave it at that.
Greg Bergman.
John Ireland is the guy. He's got the dough. He's got the gated community. I think I'd get the best gift from him.
I would like to get something from Chris Morales.
Definitely Scott Kaplan because he gives you gifts from his friends' companies and then asks you to post about it on social media.
Scott Kaplan, because it'll have cited written all over it, or going to be some bad material robe kind of thing he gave us last year, whatever it was.
Don't even finish the question. Sliwa.
Bird, because he doesn't stock his fridge very well, so I don't think he'd be that good at giving gifts.
I think Taylor probably is not going to care that much, so I'm going to go Taylor on that one. I'll go Taylor.
Sorry, Emily, but you probably just try to give me a Spotify account. I don't want that.
Steve Mason.
Alan Sliwa, no question. Alan Sliwa, don't want a gift from him. I don't think he's got good taste. He's got a Pixel phone. I mean, come on.
How about you behind the phone there, behind the camera?
Segment we do around this time, 10:40 a.m. on Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Hey, did you see that sky today?
Did you guys see that?
Basically, the days we don't do Ask Slee, we do this thing. It's called Hey, Did You See?
Did you see that? I saw it, I did it.
Did you see the memo about this?
I mean, I'm excited. You can tell by my read. Hey, did you see? Did you happen to see? It's time for Hey, Did You See?
Hey, man, did you touch my drum set?
Have you read this? Right now on Travis and Sliwa.
All right. Taylor, what's up?
What's up, guys? Looking forward to picking your brains this morning. Okay, did you see that Will Ferrell was the most recent guest on the popular YouTube talk show Hot Ones? So the show's been on since 2015 and has already produced 19 seasons, rather. So, how do you think you'd do if you appeared on Hot Ones, Beto?
No shot at all. I know the show. I actually know the guy a little bit, and I've seen the concept of it, and no chance. Not
no tolerance at all.
Zero.
Like the first couple wings, you'd be okay on, right?
Nope. Anything mild is for me. Anything hot is out of here. No chance. Forget it. There's just no need for the abuse. There's no need for your mouth to be on fire.
What if you could take tequila or something?
Then you're gonna ruin the tequila, man. No, it's you're burning your mouth. Like, it's a great concept. It's such a simple concept, and that dude is blown up just from walking around and say, "Hey, try this." Okay. And
he's a good interviewer too.
It's well, so okay, so let me. This is what I was going to say, Taylor. Is that the issue with the wings, or rather, the issue for me with participating in said event is not the wings. It's the answering of the questions.
Yeah, leave me alone.
That's the hard part. I could potentially, if I had, give me a gallon of milk and whatever, I'm sure I could make it through without, I don't know, it going, passing along. But, like, you think I'm supposed to answer questions after I'm sweating my face off? Yeah, nah, that's way too embarrassing. Side story related to this matter, though, Taylor, is that I have a friend who is really big into eating spicy stuff. And by that, I mean spicy wings, like specifically hot wing sauce. And so when he turned, I guess this would have been a couple years ago during the pandemic, when he turned 40, we were all on lockdown. And so his wife set up a Hot Ones version type show, and we all joined on Zoom. And he was eating, and we were asking him questions. It was hilarious. So it is. You're right, Beto. The show itself, extremely fun, great idea. They've really turned it into a good brand. But me, I couldn't do it because it'd be one or the other. I cannot both eat spicy stuff and answer questions at the same time.
And it's a big deal for the celebrities too to want to get on the show. Now it's. Are you big enough to come on here? Like, good for him, man. Good
they started from nothing, too, it seems like.
Are you big enough to come on?
No, seriously. They're only getting...
That's a great question to have to ask people when they're, when your show's blowing up.
Yeah.
Do we need you? Are you that good?
Well, I mean, you know the feeling.
I know, exactly.
Should I write about you? Should I? I mean, come on.
Okay,
and Taylor, you know that our guys would never do it in a million years.
Travis Lee, come on. There's a reason I didn't.
Now, hold on. Just like the Big CY, if it's for a bit, for the show, I'm all in.
I would consider it for the bit.
Exactly.
I would consider it for the bit.
Absolutely. That way Morales
Morales
could
did
do something.
And it was bad.
Who did it?
Yeah.
Travis, Allen, and I, and Taylor, we all did, what was the name of the place, too? It's like, they had really hot, like, Nashville hot chicken.
Yeah, just a hot chicken sandwich.
Oh, my God. It was a lot. It destroyed us for, like, 2 days.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know.
I'm getting sick just thinking about that right now.
Trav was really dramatic about it.
Shocker. Mr. Vanilla, huh?
Next up, guys. Okay.
Yes.
Did you see that the majority of gift givers, 59%, gave someone clothes this Christmas? So, Clinton, what is the best fashion accessory in your wardrobe?
I mean, come on, son. First of all, you know where you're coming to.
Come on, son.
You know what I mean?
How long do we have, right?
President, exactly. You're talking to the
Handsome
president of the local chapter of the Handsome Man community. I mean, I have quite a few accessories that are tremendous.
You got to pick one, okay? Desert
I'll
Island.
pick the one on my head right now, the Virginia hat that I got in Charlottesville. That's a pretty sweet white hat. Now, here's what I'm going to say.
Let's go.
The thing I have too many of, Beto, are white dad hats. I've probably got about 8 of these that all say something different on them. I got a Virginia one. I got a U.S. Open one. I got one from Texas. I got one from the Little League World Series. I got one from the college. I got 2
But those are cool. If it was
hats.
a J. Crew or Gap one or Abercrombie,
I got a couple of those too.
You got cool ones from good locations that you've been to that you've earned that.
Thank you.
A Little League World Series one? Now that's a collector's item.
That one is cool, but I appreciate that. But I think it's become the thing that if I go somewhere, I'm like, ooh, let me get the white dad cap. It's all I do now. So like,
They
I've
look
got those
good.
piling up all over the place.
Because you're in your 40s now. You're starting to get a uniform.
That's what I'm saying. The uniform is closing up, and my life is a rom-com basically at this point. But terrible one at that.
Hey, for me, it's real simple. Velvet. What is that? Velvet?
Velvet.
Oh my goodness.
Like velvet shoes?
No, velvet coats, man.
The jacket. That's
Yeah, I bought for my last fight. I worked Christmas, a couple weeks ago. I went and got myself on TV. You're not supposed to wear green, but because we weren't in a studio, I got away with it. So I bought a green velvet. I got a green velvet, blue velvet, purple, red velvet, and I was looking for a gold velvet jacket.
Green velvet? Were you the Grinch?
No, it was a dark green. It was like it was like a forest green kind of thing. So it worked.
Hunter
out.
green.
Yeah. It was nice. It was nice, man. It was smooth. Yeah.
Good to know.
So, but yeah, it feels
I love
good.
my Taylor Swift merch. That's what my favorite item in my closet is my Taylor Swift sweatshirt that I got from Taylor Swift.
Nice.
Like she gave it to you?
No, I just bought it from her for like $1 million.
$180?
Hold on. You think she'd be out here slumming it with us mid-morning if she'd actually received a hoodie from Taylor Swift?
But the way she said it, from Taylor.
She would have moved on with her life many times over if she was actually receiving clothing from one Tay-Tay. But
yeah, I did phrase it a little interestingly, but no, I like my Taylor Swift.
This is a perfect show right now. It's the dad hats, Old Man Velvet, and Taylor Swift.
What more could you want?
Very true. What else we got, Taylor?
Next up, did you see it takes Americans an average of 24 minutes to actually get out of bed and start the day? So after 2 alarms and hitting snooze twice, they finally get out of bed.
Huh.
So
24 minutes.
Do you get out of bed quickly when you wake up, Beto?
What? I gotta go. Hurry up. Hey.
Where am I?
No, well, that used to be. Now I know where I'm at. Most of the time. But no, get up and go. The day is amazing. It's always great day to have a great day, man. And I'm not being facetious about that because you get up and you're ready to go. What are you going to do to conquer? I'm also the guy who has every single minute of the day pretty much planned because there's a lot of things going on. So it's get after it, get going. Now, every now and then when the body crashes, it crashes. And I wake up and I'm like, dude, I have nothing to do today, which is a rare day. I ain't going anywhere for at least 30 minutes, 45 minutes. But then you start feeling lazy, moving around. Like
some people don't feel that, Beto. All right?
I know.
Some people
I know.
don't feel lazy just lying around in bed all day.
Oh, I got some of those friends,
too. I
too.
learned that lesson the hard way from somebody I used to date, but that's another matter. 24 minutes is probably about the right time. It's like enough time for you to sort of check your socials, say, hey, all right, give myself 10 more minutes. You know what I'm saying? The alarm is what, 7 minutes, 9 minutes after you press snooze on a typical iPhone. I think the default is 9 minutes. So
but don't fall back asleep.
Well, no, what I'm saying is that it gives you 9 minutes to just not move. You know what I mean?
You know what I've done, though?
I'm up. Very rarely do I fall back asleep.
What I've done is I've told myself I can't check social or check my phone until I'm out of bed. That's changed things up, too.
Really?
Where now it's like, okay, I got to get up and clear the mind, before you start functioning and sending out that tweet or arguing on the circle of trust or whatever, like here it is. You want to go and clear the mind, get up, brush your teeth, have the coffee first, and then sit down. All right, give me the negative stuff in Twitter. And then, so I don't check my phone until actually I'm out of bed.
So your points per 24. You know how they do points per 48 in the league? Your points per 24 not strong. Because everything I do, once I get out of bed, I'm not on my phone. I'm the exact opposite. Like, I'll handle all that business while I'm in bed. And then once I get up, I'm doing things and I'm moving around. I'm not.
But you're important. You got meetings. You got calls. You got production calls.
I got things to avoid. You know what I'm saying?
No, I don't, and I don't want to know.
Just like you and me. I'm joking, but no. What I'm saying is that once I get up, I'm not on the phone as much. I do that in bed. That's why I'm in the bed for 24 minutes at all. Anything else, Zach?
Last one here. Did you know that a 1972 California court case ruled that nude sunbathing is not indecent exposure? There are over 30 nude beaches in California. Clinton, would you ever attend one?
Yes, have been and would and enjoyed it. Nude beaches are an interesting experience, Beto. I'm not sure
where did you do this at?
I'm not going to disclose that information should I choose to return, and I don't need anybody following me.
Okay, in the United States or Europe?
It's certainly in the U.S.
Okay.
Not Europe, no. I'm not Europe, no. Europe, have you seen these nude beaches in Europe?
No, I'm asking.
Okay. Anyway, Europe, get out of here. But I've been. It's an interesting experience because, I don't want to get fired today, but let's just say that some people are there for certain reasons, and some just get fired, bro. Some people are there for certain reasons, some people are there for other reasons. And if you can be at one where people are there for the right reasons, then I don't mean anything untoward. I mean exactly the opposite. People are just being nude and not making it a thing, then it can be fun, but it depends. So it's tricky. Have you ever been, Taylor, since you're asking all these questions?
No, it just came to my mind this morning. You
You didn't take the traveling nurse to the nude beach? No, I'm joking.
What about you, Beto?
No, and no desire, because usually people that are that comfortable are way too comfortable for the wrong reasons. And I do know that there's a beach by Kaplan down in in Del Mar area or somewhere around there where you can go, but I have no desire to see it.
It's called Black's Beach.
Is that what it is?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. No desire because, the human body.
You had that pretty quickly.
Because Kaplan might be there?
Huh?
Because Cappy might be there or what?
Exactly.
Can you imagine?
It's a sea of Cappies. There's no need for this.
The beach and Cappy comes jogging down.
Yeah, and him walking by going, delicious.
Jogging down the surf. What's up, Beto? That would be hilarious.
Yeah, so I'm good with it.
Yeah, I know where that is, Emily. I heard that, by the way. You know what I'm saying?
He's been there.
You had it pretty quickly.
Clinton knows a lot of things.
Yeah, thank you, Taylor.
He has geography.
Yes. You know what else I know? I know the Bolts are in the postseason, okay? Because they beat the Dolts yesterday. That was quite the game. Also, Justin Herbert, he's captain of the fishing club in his high school. That's who they got beat by. We're going to talk about the Chargers in the postseason. It's Travis and Sliwa on 710 ESPN.
Favorite gift giver here in the office is John Ireland because he's rich and he gives you money.
It's really easy. John Ireland. He gives you money and he gives you a decent amount of it.
Emily, she gives the best gifts. She's thoughtful and gives it consideration. It's not quick and easy. She's a good gift giver.
Clinton Yates. He gives amazing gifts.
Raj just got, last year a guy got me some bourbon, so I think Travis kind of knows what to get.
I think Mason. He and I have a lot of similar interests. I'll just leave it at that.
Greg Bergman.
John Ireland is the guy. He's got the dough. He's got the gated community. I think I'd get the best gift from him.
I would like to get something from Chris Morales.
Definitely Scott Kaplan because he gives you gifts from his friends' companies and then asks you to post about it on social media.
Scott Kaplan, because it'll have cited written all over it, or going to be some bad material robe kind of thing he gave us last year, whatever it was.
Don't even finish the question. Sliwa.
Berg, because he doesn't stock his fridge very well, so I don't think he'd be that good at giving gifts.
I think Taylor probably is not going to care that much, so I'm going to go Taylor on that one. I'll go Taylor.
Sorry, Emily, but you probably just try to give me a Spotify account. I don't want that.
Steve Mason.
Alan Sliwa, no question. Alan Sliwa, don't want a gift from him. I don't think he's got good taste. He's got a Pixel phone. I mean, come on.
How about you behind the phone there, behind the camera?
Hey, Laker fans, John Ireland here. Have you downloaded the new ESPN LA app? You got to get this thing. It's great. You can get Travis and Sliwa, Mason and Ireland, Sedano and Cap, and all of our Lakers talk with Slee right in the palm of your hand.
You're just one tap away from everything Lakers. You could even win Lakers tickets.
React to the Lakers on ESPN LA app.
Download the new ESPN LA app in the App Store or on Google Play.
It is the show that begins 9 hours of LA sports talk all day long. Each weekday, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. This is Travis and Sliwa on 710 ESPN.
Travis and Sliwa, Beto and Yates. Happy Tuesday, kiddos. We actually got a decent amount going on around the sports world. In the Premiership, Chelsea's playing Bournemouth. The only reason that's of import is because Michael B. Jordan is there. I don't know why he's there.
Why would he be there for that?
I have no idea, but I guess it's a Chelsea fan. Also, Beto's very interested in this bowl game happening.
Yeah, let's
What's the name
go.
of this bowl
Camellia
again?
Bowl in Montgomery, Alabama. How do you not know about it? Georgia Southern Eagles, the Fighting Clay Heltons taking on the Buffalo Bulls, the Fighting Clay, Khalil Max. That's all I got. But it's very interesting because the quarterback for Georgia Southern was at Buffalo last year. So he's trying. And 2 years ago, he won this bowl game with Buffalo. So it's very, very interesting.
So he's a legacy guy.
Oh, yeah.
Decent amount of sports happening around
A lot of football today.
the calendar, and some football as well. I mentioned this before the break. So yesterday the Chargers, for the first time in a long time, were in a situation in which they were on the front foot, Beto. They had a chance to sort of write their own destiny, and they did it. Now, the Colts aren't very good, and the Chargers, obviously, this is a game they needed to win. What did you think about this team not sort of charging and actually holding it down, gaining that wild card spot when they got the chance?
Not charging. What a word. What a phrase
people tell me
right
this
there.
word all the time.
Yeah. You know what? And you and I were tweeting yesterday about it and how we're going to come to the show. And I'm not a sports fan, of a team, right?
A team guy.
I love LA sports because I love when the city is on fire. Last year when the Rams were doing their thing and the city is going back and forth, I love the city winning. The Dodgers winning, Lakers winning. winning is good for the city, the morale, and the fans. It's great because you invest all this time with them. So the Chargers, it's hard because they're brand new, right? Their fans are in elementary right now. And the people say, oh, go back to San Diego. They're not going to go because they raise their value so many billions of dollars.
Enough. They're here.
They're not going anywhere. They got a great lease right there. Now, Kaplan, being such a Charger hater, I've gone on the side of, you hate them so much, I'm going to love the Chargers so much because I'm that guy and I'm going to go anti with them. But then also, when full disclosure, when the Chargers moved here, I was their pre and post host for a couple seasons.
Okay.
And I knew what they were up against. I'm hosting Charger Talk. Nobody's calling.
Nobody's calling Charger
I know
Talk,
this. Right? I know that. But you saw the way they were going to build things, and it was going to take a while. They understood that. The staff that they have, they knew. They had to change their attitude. They had to change everything about them. And they draft Justin Herbert. And I love his attitude. I love the way that he plays.
Great.
And getting to the playoffs last year should have happened. The way that they didn't go, it was, as you would say, chargering.
Yeah.
This year, with the injuries, they're beat up. It's like they shouldn't have things. This weekend, things fall into place for them finally. They control their own destiny to get into the playoffs, and they actually do it. So watching that game yesterday, I'm like, heck yeah, good for them. The way that they came out. And the Colts are bad. They are bad.
Colts are terrible.
They're terrible.
First of all, who knew that Nick Foles was on that team? I've learned that as soon as kickoff happened. That was
you
news
too?
to me. You're right. That was news to me. But I do think you're right also in the larger sense that's bigger than just L.A. in many ways, Beto, is that Justin Herbert is good for the league.
Yeah.
I mean, this kid is he's about as good of a stud young QB as you're going to get. And I know that it's not just about sort of the way that he plays. I mean, but he's a quiet guy. He makes all the throws. He could do it with his feet as well. His teammates seem to love him. I'm in fact somewhat surprised that Jay Herbo is not a bigger star than he actually already is, considering just sort of what he looks like, how he plays, and where he is. I really think this could be a postseason where he becomes sort of a different character in the light of the rest of the country in terms of what people think about who the Chargers are, because that team is pretty good. They dealt with some injury issues in the middle of the season, but now that they're back to some level of full health, it won't be surprising if they walk into somebody's stadium and beat them.
Yeah, and this is a team where they have something, but not quite. Last night, Keenan Allen getting back into the mix, looking good. Austin Eckler. There was an excellent story written about, I forget who it was, but about Austin Eckler. Oh, in the LA Times. Jeff Miller wrote it. How Austin Eckler, where he came from. This dude was a cowboy in Denver area. He grew up like an hour north of Denver, and I've known of Austin when he came in training camp, right? You're like, okay, who's this undrafted kid who's about 5'8"-ish, but working hard? And then you hear the stories about him in the weight room. He's the strongest one. He's doing squats with the linemen and the linebackers. He's lifting heavy because he's always been doing that, right?
Right.
But he's also emerging as a leader. They gave him the big contract. This is a dude, Eckler, who gets it. For being a small-town kid, he grew up about an hour and a half north of Denver, and he literally was riding in the rodeos. He tried 3 different rodeos, and he got knocked off of the
wow.
And he's like, nah, maybe this ain't for me. But
that ain't easy either. Yeah.
No. He was like 11, 12 years old, but that's what he was doing.
Right.
He was his stepfather owned a big ranch, and he was literally pulling up the barbed wire and doing fencing. Like they always say that country strong. That's him. But the way he runs, the way he has attitude, he's really big on Twitch, right? He's really big on communicating with the crowd and the fans, which is good. But when you need him in a game, you see the way he runs. They kind of have that attitude about him. So the Chargers are a fun team to watch. Forget your allegiance to the Rams or anything else. They're a fun team, but they also have a lot of holes. Is this a team that can make a run in the playoffs? Maybe win a game, maybe surprise too, but not going to make a deep run. I don't think so. They don't have that depth for it. But you start hearing
you never
about
know.
them.
Beto, I mean, the Bengals made the Super Bowl last year, and they beat some good teams.
Yeah, but you look at a Herbert and a guy like that, and you said it, how come he doesn't have that bigger presence? You need to have the national games, the national exposure games, because nobody on the East Coast is watching a Charger game at all. But if you win a playoff game, all of a sudden, damn, this dude just put up 300 yards like that, flinging it around, the locks, 6'6", good old boy. He just has that attitude about him of you're not going to hear Justin Herbert's in the club. From what I've been told, he stays at home, watches videos, and is literally locked into just being a quarterback and doesn't do anything else outside of that. His whole life is being a quarterback.
Right. They're in the playoffs for the first time since 2018. I mean, people forget who Herbert is. The guy was an academic All-American, and he was going to be a Heisman candidate. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this dude is not just some. He's not just some. I don't know, meathead. You know, I don't
that's the opposite of what he is.
I don't want to talk smack about other quarterbacks in the league, but that's not remotely who he is. You know, and I think that this team is interesting because for two reasons. Number one, I think they are overlooked, as you pointed out, and number two, like I said, teams can get hot and start beating people. It is not out of the question that
but
if
Brandon Staley could also take them out of it. I'm just saying
so?
that because he makes these crazy 4th down plays. He was the reason they didn't go to the playoffs last year.
But his guys
should have won
like
the playoffs last year.
I don't know.
Like that.
Yeah, I hear you, but on balance,
get out.
on balance, you know, they're in more games than they're not because they actually take those chances, and it's hard for him to get out of that. I get it. Brandon
They get too
Staley's
cute sometimes.
They get a little too cute by a half sometimes, but at the same
And in
time,
playoff, every decision matters.
yeah, I guess that's true.
But I'll tell you this, Emily, being around camp a little bit this year, and you start talking to guys, not interviews, just talking to them, guys buy into that. And they bring guys that are players that, oh, you want us to go on for it on 4th down right in this situation? Heck yeah, because you believe in us, right? And it's an attitude of it. It's not for everybody, and it's unconventional too. Now, yeah, at times he's doing it, you're like, dude, why are you trying this right now? But they figured things out. They got their own system. And when you have a coach who's doing things, we might be saying, what are you doing? But the players, Herbert, I know for a fact, if you ever watch it when they're on the fourth down, Herbert is always in that attitude of, I'm going. Like, they're starting to get – and I think now that Staley has finally a year under his belt and realizing the magnitude of what he's doing, that, hey, the league catches up to you when you try to get too cute. Remember the Wildcat was all the rage for a while? Then all of a sudden everybody's like, dude, we figured it out, right? Sometimes you just need to smack somebody in the mouth and you just run them over. Like, it's not that hard when it's 4th and inches. There's no need to be running that corner fade, right? So that's what the Chargers are. Like, it'd be good for them to do it and get after it and get more exposure because when the city has playoffs, it's fun. It makes you want to watch something.
Rams and Chargers face off on New Year's Day at SoFi. Should be an interesting matchup. Those two teams are moving in opposite directions, Beto.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what's going on with the Rams. They had a nice win against the Broncos, obviously. The Baker Mayfield situation is kind of fascinating, obviously. If Matt Stafford,
I love it. I love it.
You know,
I said that he was going to do that, too. I felt so good about that
This
one.
is Emily's account on this one, but, you know, who knows what's going to happen with Stafford in the offseason. But I don't know.
He's going to be there. It's going to be fine. Okay, guys.
Baker made some money this weekend.
Yeah.
Because of the Rams are losing because of injury.
Sure.
Next year, the people that were injured will be back. I think honestly, Sean McVay deserves maybe even some like Coach of the Year credit for giving him 5 wins. Like this role that he's been given, what Sean McVay has to do here is a lot to take on, and
they knew that this was coming. They didn't have any depth. Another one, just like the Lakers, there's no depth. They knew they sold themselves out for a championship, and they got it.
And
it worked.
Will be back next year.
Okay, but that's 2 years away from a championship team. That's also a year older for Stafford. I mean, this team is going to have a little bit more.
You have a banged up Stafford too.
They got banged up Stafford. They have a few more hurdles than I think people realize. But that's not even the point. The point is that the Bolts are a viable team, and if you're a football fan in LA, I mean, listen, you know, if you don't like the Chargers, that's fine. But that might be, I mean, that is going to be perhaps the only playoff game you see in this city. You know what I mean? In this football season.
I'll say this though. See why?
Yes.
So when I was growing up in elementary, in the late 80s, 90s, the only team I ever saw in the playoffs, and there's a reason a lot of my friends are fans of this team, the Niners.
Yeah.
It was Joe Montana and Jerry Rice, and it was Tom Rathman, the fullback, and Roger Craig. That's the team you would see on TV in the playoffs. So a lot of my friends, impressionable kids in 3rd and 4th grade, became Niner fans because that's what you saw in the playoffs. And
that's all fine.
And there's also a generation that are now Patriots and Packers fans because that's what you see in the playoffs.
Right.
So if you're a kid in LA, you could become a Charger fan because you see them.
Sure, and I'm not even worried about like the legacy effect of any of this in terms of young kids in LA. I'm just talking about the teams in the NFL right now.
Yeah.
The Chargers are fun to watch, bro.
Yes, they are.
And they might show up and beat somebody.
Yeah.
You know, and that's kind of where I'm at. I'm impressed with them as a simple fan of football who covers this for work. I like watching that team. And Justin Herbert is the kind of quarterback that he's got all baseball player, by the way, which is part of the reason why I love that dude. They're just really fun to watch. And yesterday, by the way, you talked about Brandon Staley. So our friend Mina Kimes, who you guys know from
Yeah.
her various
From everything.
Every week we text about the Bolts. Like I'll do something, I'll say something stupid, some stupid joke because whatever. She's big into
And she'll
football.
talk about the Seahawks?
No, she discusses the Bolts because she likes them too because they're a fun team. And like she's not the biggest fan. She's obviously got a 12 tattoo, so she's a Seahawks fan, but she likes the Bolts. Anyway, so yesterday I texted my usual quiet storm with the lightning bolts on there because that's what I call their offense, the quiet storm offense, because I'm stupid and whatever, stupid bits.
I dig.
And she replies with just a still shot of that picture of Brandon Staley on the sideline doing whatever that yoga pose is with his
Get some cat cows.
The cakes were out, as we might say.
He was getting the body ready.
Caked up, as double cheeked up, as some of the kids would say. And dude, for the next 3 hours, my mentions were just a complete disaster. I was like, Mina, why did you do this? You know what I mean? Because the point is,
why did Brandon do this?
Okay, so
hey, that's when you're comfortable in who you are.
That's what I'm saying. My favorite part about this team is the actual coach. So, Emily, you mentioned that he might coach them in or out or something. That guy is hilarious to me. He's such a prototypical current NFL coach. Never played in the league, kind
Division
of a short
3.
dude, D3 guy who just kind of doesn't really do anything but coach football and does not care about anybody else. I love that guy. He's half the fun for me, Beto.
Could he have done that in the hallway? Sure. In the tunnel? Sure.
No. Why would you do that?
But you also, this. Every single coach has their routine of what they do. They got to get going. And I'm going to be in that zone. Yeah, they know the cameras are on them, but look, if I got to go and get Warrior 1 down, I'm going to go do it. A little downward dog, I'm going to make sure I'm ready. Because I got to be on the sidelines for the next 4 hours on my feet, get going, got to make sure the core is engaged. Then he goes and runs the stairs. When you go to a football game and you're there 4 or 5 hours early like we are for most times,
yeah,
and you see the stadium awakening, right? You see, before the players are out there, the coaches. I always love watching the old school lineman coach who are just about 3 bills.
Right.
They got the
way
gray.
too big for their frame.
They're too big for their frame, but they're doing their laps around the field, or they might even do a little side-to-side step, like they're old school, like up against the goalpost, because there's nobody there. But that's that athlete mentality. Staley played football in college, right? So he knows what's up.
So, yeah.
He's got to get his body ready. He's got to get that mind going. Hey, Jim Leland used to smoke a heater in the clubhouse before he went out there, right? So go for it. Whatever it is to get you in the zone and get you a win.
I have smoked a heater with Jim Lee.
Stop it.
True fact.
Coming
up, I've been on social media all weekend, so I have so many different things to tell you about. It's Travis and Sliwa. But first, a word from FanDuel. NFL.
Hey, Laker fans, John Ireland here. Have you downloaded the new ESPN LA app? You got to get this thing. It's great. You can get Travis and Sliwa, Mason and Ireland, Sedano and Cap, and all of our Lakers talk with Slee right in the palm of your hand.
You're just one tap away from everything Lakers. You could even win Lakers tickets.
React to the Lakers on ESPN LA app.
Download the new ESPN LA app in the App Store or on Google Play.
on Travis and Sliwa on your Tuesday on 710.
Oh. Travis and Sliwa Show.
Yeah.
Beto Duran and Clinton Yates filling in. If you know this song, that means you have been staring at your phone, probably out of the sight of the person that you love quite frequently. Do you know what you're hearing right now, Beto Duran?
I know it's Skilo, but I don't know what version this is.
It's a sped up version that is very popular. Okay, so I'm glad to hear that you don't know what this is, Beto. That means that you're actually spending your time usefully. This is currently the song that is the soundtrack for at least on my side of TikTok. You can bring
it's a
that down,
TikTok
Taylor.
thing? Yeah.
You can bring that down, Taylor, because it is actually very annoying. On my side of TikTok is the most popular trend going around right now, which is turning my mom into me. Now, let me explain how this lays out, Beto. Basically, it'll say turning my mom into me, and then a woman will walk out of said door, clearly a mom and clearly being filmed by her daughter, and then does a little turn or whatever, goes back into
like she looks a little more mommy. Like she's
mommy, yes. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? Dressed like a mom, for lack of a better term.
Okay.
Like school kid pickup, perhaps at the tournament all day and had
Or
to
in
get there at
sweats,
5 a.m.
like
or in
cleaning
whatever.
stuff,
Yes.
yeah.
Okay.
They go into the room, come back out, and they're dressed like their daughters, done up in the whole nine. My guy, let me explain to you.
This is a TikTok thing?
Yeah, you need to get on this. This is a problem. I saw the first couple. I was like, oh, okay. And then next thing I know, I'm like, bruh, who are these moms on TikTok? What is going on out here? Why is this talent pool so deep? There's like all these funny stitches with them now where guys are just like, yo, bro, I can't even handle it. So now every time I hear that song, I think about this trend. I need you to go to this trend.
You think about moms.
Listen.
I have TikTok. I just don't use it.
You don't want that in your algorithm. See, Beto keep his algo clean, as they say.
Yeah, it's I use it, but I'm not really like. It's more when my kids send me stuff. That's part of the reason why I have it.
Fair enough.
Yeah, because I just know once I get into it, I'm gonna go down that hole, and I'm gonna sound exactly like you. Where it's gonna be what's going on here. The Mexican TikTok is crazy for me because there's a bunch of influencers on there who are doing a bunch of things where they're posting things and they're doing their same thing where they're doing the videos of like what does it look like or how Mexican dads sound. So I get caught up in that Mexican TikTok, which is like, oh heck yeah, like the one about the hating tias, like the salty aunts who show up at Christmas and all they're doing is talking bad about you. I went down that rabbit hole a little bit and I'm like, what am I doing with my life here? Let me put Die Hard back on. Like, what am I doing?
Wow. See, you know, you don't want to embrace the wave. Emily, your thoughts?
No,
on
I'll embrace
turning
it for like 10 minutes. Like I just don't want to, because then I know how I am. Once I get going, I find others and I find others.
I'm going to explain this to you later.
You don't even. There's a thing out there called Rudy Valencia. The Mexicans know what I'm talking about. A dude who got busted with his girlfriend and wife at the same time. It's
Hold on. No. Break it down. Explain it. What do we got? We got 3 hours to fill, buddy. What are we talking about here?
This is the
Tell
kind
me
of
about
stupid.
this.
Okay, so oh my gosh.
Oh, this is too stupid?
No,
Are you kidding me?
It's just the fact that I know this, right? Because I should know better. I actually found it on the food community, right? The Food's Gone Wild subset.
Yes.
And it was a dude who, you know what's up. So a dude was lunchtime special with the torta lady. Like literally, she sells the tortas, right? And, the wife busted them. And she smacked him around and she said, have you no shame, Rudy Valencia? He was in his work outfit, right? Looks like he's a mechanic or something, right? So Rudy Valencia, have you no shame, right? So boom.
Right.
Fast forward, Rudy comes out and says, hey, I'm okay. I'm a good man because I still went to work, right? That was the next video. Then the video after that, the wife comes out and says, oh, we're together. They're posting the Christmas picture together, right? Boom. Then the torta lady is saying, leave me alone. The harassment, I don't need this for me and my kids. Boom. And then there's this dude.
Oh, the torta lady has kids. Okay.
Yeah. And then there's a dude who does the breakdown of saying that he knows Rudy Valencia, he knows the wife, he knows the kid. It is just everything else. And it just became, it was trending and TikTok was breaking him down of like, okay, who's yet? Yeah. Gerardo,
Exactly.
Gerardo, right? Jose Luis in Spanish, how you would do it. So, yeah, man, it's just, so Rudy Valencia. I can't believe I'm talking about that on ESPN Radio. But yeah,
Beto's a shame.
that's where you go. No, it's nothing to shame. It's just, like, I should be doing more with my life. I should be spending time with my kids. I should be saying, hey, Mija, how are you doing? Hey, son, let's do this college application. Let's figure out this FAFSA for you,
Your
right?
kids are the ones on TikTok.
Yes.
You just said that. So
Yeah,
this is
exactly.
called bonding.
Yeah. Oh, no, I'm not watching Rudy Valencia with my kids. I'm watching for myself because then it went in our group chat, and the next you know, like the name of our group chat on the WhatsApp, because you know WhatsApp is where it's at,
Yeah.
right? There's stickers of Rudy Valencia, right? They're our
See,
group
Emily,
chat.
I knew that this was going to open a door to something that mattered. I knew, but there's no way that Beto was roaming this earth with no context of what's happening on TikTok. Have you seen this, Moms of TikTok, by the
Our
way,
group
Emily?
chat just said it right now. Beto talking about Rudy Valencia on 710. The name of our group chat is El Rudy Valencia. Like,
Yes.
oh, know your audience.
Perfect.
Know your audience.
Emily, have you seen the Moms of TikTok?
I have seen the Moms of TikTok. I do think it's funny because it shows that aging and getting older is just a mindset, so that you could always just dress yourself up and change you could dress more trendy and change how you look. But I think it's great for these moms to get a little bit of confidence boost. But yeah, get out there, girls.
No, go for it. Like, then the thing
It's
is,
great.
dude, there's an entire thing out there. So, for example, TikTok can make you huge, right? So, back to the TikTok influencers, we played this tournament in Oregon last week, and the team that we played against was a local team. We had kids from the rival high school telling us, please beat them, please beat them. I'm like, why? They're your right. And I go, no, we don't like that kid on the team. He's TikTok famous. Like, kid had like 1 million followers. You can blow up and do everything. The Mexican recipes, there's like Mexican abuelas are out there who are showing you how to actually make food.
Hold on,
oh my
slow
god,
down.
without recipes. Oh my gosh.
Slow down. This is what I'm trying to say is that and this is kind of an extended metaphor, but I've been on social media for a lot of different places for a long time, and I don't have Beto's looking down the nose attitude about it because frankly I got my job because of Twitter on a lot of levels, but TikTok to me has become on a kind of a creative cultural level, Beto, well beyond influencers. Yeah. Just a fascinating place to look. If you think of old school media, your newspapers, your news radios, your television as kind of the information superhighway. I'd sort of looked at Twitter as maybe a car you drive on that. TikTok is like a bedroom community. Like, people are in their classrooms. People are in their kitchens. People are at their jobs. Like, it's a totally different view on the world than a lot of these other social media sites. And I think it's offered me personally, not just because I've been cooped up in my apartment for the last couple of days, but, it allows a window from a very different lens than a lot of other things do. Twitter, primarily text-based. IG, primarily picture-based. TikTok, oddly enough, is kind of both. And, you get to see things where you're just forget about hot moms. You get to see,
don't forget about the hot moms.
I'm saying, we're not going to ever forget about hot moms. Let's be clear about that. I mean, in this particular portion of the discussion, it is fast. I spend a lot of time on TikTok, bro. You guys wanted to make fun of me because I'm watching people clear each other's gutters and stuff. No. It is a very interesting look into just, in general, the society we live on a level that no other social media site has been able to capture.
Look, I don't look down on it. I'm all for it. It just, for me, I'm trying to use less of my phone. And
it's a rabbit hole.
No, the way I am, if I find one thing, I'm not going to let go.
Yes.
So if I were to get into, you know what I really like? They were making fun of you for watching people clean their gutters.
Yes.
No, I love kitchen renovations.
Thank you.
Right? And I love backyard renovations. Right? All about the living space. And maybe because my sister's, and maybe because I don't have a house. That's what I want. I would love to do that. But I get caught up in that. And where do you see it? On TikTok. There's that woman who shows you how to build a brick wall in her house. I mean, there's all kinds of things out there. I just know that, damn it.
Overwhelmed.
No, because I need to read a book. That's what I need to do.
Book. 2023, Beto's resolution, read more books.
I do, once a month. But damn it, I get done with the book and I'm back to the TikTok because I know I'm going to get caught up. Like the Twitter, I stopped using it, right? I only use it during the shows when I'm working.
Right.
The IG, it's cool, but even then, less on that because of the algorithm, the span. The TikTok, I know it's coming, and I post on there whenever I do a high school.
You do
game.
post,
yeah. Whenever I do a high school game, if I get a highlight, I'll put it up there because I know that's where the kids are at, right? And that's going to get the engagement. But You know what? Forget it. Let me download TikTok again. I'll do it.
Thank you. I have one New Year's resolution.
I took it off of my phone, but let me put it back
I
up.
have one New Year's resolution myself, which is to actually make a TikTok.
Oh,
Coming
you haven't
up.
made one?
No.
Oh, you only use it? You lurk.
It's Factor Cap. I'm Clayton Yates. He's Beto Duran. I'm a lurker. He's a user. It's Travis and Sliwa on 710.
Favorite gift giver here in the office is John Ireland because he's rich and he gives you money.
Really easy. John Ireland. He gives you money and he gives you a decent amount of it.
Emily, she gives the best gifts. She's thoughtful and gives it consideration. It's not quick and easy. She's a good gift giver.
Clinton Yates. He gives amazing gifts.
Raj just got, last year a guy got me some bourbon, so I think Travis kind of knows what to get.
I think Mason. He and I have a lot of similar interests. I'll just leave it at that.
Greg Bergman.
John Ireland is the guy. He's got the dough. He's got the gated community. I think I'd get the best gift from him.
I would like to get something from Chris Morales.
Definitely Scott Kaplan because he gives you gifts from his friends' companies and then asks you to post about it on social media.
Scott Kaplan, because it'll have cited written all over it, or going to be some bad material robe kind of thing he gave us last year, whatever it was.
Don't even finish the question. Sliwa.
Bird, because he doesn't stock his fridge very well, so I don't think he'd be that good at giving gifts.
I think Taylor probably is not going to care that much, so I'm going to go Taylor on that one. I'll go Taylor.
Sorry, Emily, but you probably just try to give me a Spotify account. I don't want that.
Steve Mason.
Alan Sliwa, no question. Alan Sliwa, don't want a gift from him. I don't think he's got good taste. He's got a Pixel phone. I mean, come on.
How about you behind the phone there, behind the camera?
Oh, that's cap. That's so cap, Dad.
Everything I've said is a cap, but I'm going to go back.
First of all, it's not a cap. It's
No, it
just
is a cap.
Welcome to Factor Cap.
Hey guys, since it's essentially lunchtime here in Virginia, I was snacking throughout the course of the show on this sandwich my dad made of leftovers from Christmas dinner. Okay. Oh my gosh, it was amazing. He made this it was turkey and gravy and stuffing and mashed potatoes all in a sandwich. Oh, my dad's a great cook, so that's one of my favorite things about coming home. So this first thing, there are a lot of them are airplane or travel themed just because they were on my mind. So
yeah, sure.
So the person next to me on my flight, he did not bring anything to entertain himself. He just was sitting there and had no phone, had no book, had no nothing to look at the entirety of the flight. And he was in the middle seat. So people who don't bring anything to entertain themselves on 1+ hour flights are crazy. Clinton, Factor Cap.
Fact. This is total insanity. I can't fly a plane without getting the Wi-Fi. Number one.
Oh.
Number two, I can barely fly a plane without getting something to drink. Number three, how the hell do you sit in a plane for 1+ hours just doing nothing? I don't understand that. It's not like planes are these it's not like you can go meditate on a plane. It's not like you can get to a space of zen where you can just focus on yourself. Planes are noisy, annoying, cacophonous
smelly
in general. Yeah. Bro, these people are completely nuts. I don't understand how anybody does this, Beto.
Now, hold on, Emily. I have a couple questions here. Was the guy looking like he was maybe on cloud 9?
No, he was an older. No, he was an older man,
Okay.
and he looked very normal.
He looked sober.
He looked like a sober man. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, then you said, over 60?
Yes, I would say 60
old
plus.
people can do
yes.
that, man. Old people can just sit there.
You will see old guys do that every once in a while, where they just sit there and you're like, I don't even understand that.
Old people can just sit there and watch the day go by. They could just chill. Like, we are the generation and of the lifestyle where if our phone isn't in our hand, what are we doing here? We're like so nervous, right? I have to read something even as the plane's going on. Even if I'm reading the back of the instruction manual on how to get out of the plane, something. I just can't do it. Like the people who are young who show up with nothing, man. There's always. That's why I asked if he was sober, because you might go and take some edibles and be done with it.
I mean, that's also helpful. Taylor, what about you?
That's hard to do, bro.
I'm thinking he was an air marshal or something.
What was he wearing?
He's sussing me out.
I have to at least.
Nah, he wouldn't do that because that brings attention to him.
Yeah, what was he wearing?
Right. So he was like he had like just like a regular jacket, a hat, and like pants, but he was with someone else too. Like he was another woman. I guess they were together, but they didn't sit together. It was like his wife, I guess, was somewhere else. But,
well, that totally changes the calculus. My bad. Go ahead, Taylor.
Yeah, I'm right there with you.
Yeah, I have to at least listen to some music or something at the very least.
Yeah, you're a musician. You got headphones on all the time.
Yeah.
If he was traveling with his wife, though, or let's just say his partner, and he did not have to sit with her, that could be a situation where he literally just wanted
that was
3
his
hours
zen.
of silence.
That zen right
You know
there.
what I'm saying? It's entirely possible that was his weekend getaway on his weekend.
Yeah, as he said, "Oh, middle seat, sure, I'll give.
Right.
Yeah, no problem. I'll be there."
Whatever. As long as I don't have to talk to anybody, I know the feeling.
So we know there's a bunch of mess going on right now with Southwest Airlines. So if an airline messes with you once, you will never fly with them again. Beto, factor cap.
Nah, because I know it's out of their control, man. Like they're not trying to do things. Cap, for me, it's I'll do this though. If you're flying Spirit, that's on you. That's your own problem. There's a couple of airlines in Mexico that you just don't do. Volaris, you better be careful. Speaking of TikTok, there's a Volaris TikTok. Really? Volaris is the like Spirit of Mexico, right? Where they're charging you to breathe right now. So it's
or like Ryanair in England is the same way. It's like it's the same thing.
God, I flew Ryanair once.
So you're flying Spirit, you're flying some of the other sus airlines. You know what you're gonna get. So that look, just get me there.
What's
man.
it? Volaris?
Volaris, yeah.
Volaris Tijuana 2022 is what came up. Oh dear.
All right, Clinton, what about you with this?
Yeah.
What was the question again? Sorry, I forgot about the previous.
They say no, mess it up. You're
if
not
an airline
flying
messes
again.
If you mess it up. Yeah, no, this is total cap for me because this isn't realistic in my lifestyle. There's just no way that I can write off an entire airline and not have a completely annoying situation going forward. Number two about that, pardon me, is that I got to thinking about Volaris and I got confused. Like, I don't know, outside of those, like the Ryanairs, the actual budget airlines, I don't know that I've had an experience on any particular airline that was that much worse than any other. I've had a lot of bad scenarios in which, one particular company did something ridiculous and they're all kind of the same. You know what I mean? That's kind of the problem, is that there are not airlines that are, in fact, doing much different than anybody else because they're really just packing you in and getting you from place to place as quickly as possible. And for me, it's like, all right, well, if I'm going to swear off one airline for the rest of my life, that certainly closes a lot of opportunities for places that I want to go because it's not like everybody flies everywhere. So, no, to me, that's cap. And in general, I've been flying planes since I was 7 years old, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I'm so past that point of this airline affected me as a human being to the point that they're never going to get my money anymore. Good luck with that because I'll see you somewhere else.
Taylor, what about you?
Cap for me, knock on wood, but I've been pretty fortunate in my flying experience. I've not really had anything too bad to deal with. So, yeah, I'm good.
All right. So on Sunday, the Rams are part of the Nickelodeon broadcast. So that included both like at the stadium, they had really fun stuff for kids to do. They had slime helmets. And then on the broadcast, they had Patrick Starr giving like commentary. They took up Baker Mayfield in a blimp. It was a bunch of fun stuff for kids and at the stadium and on the broadcast. So you like the idea of this Nickelodeon broadcast. Taylor, what about you? Fact or cap?
Fact, yeah, I think it's great. It gets kids that might not usually watch football interested in football. So, yeah, it's a genius idea.
Clinton, what about you?
Fact, I'm mad I missed it, to be quite frank. I kind of forgot that game was happening because this is sort of a separate discussion, but to the point. The NFL, Beto mentioned being footballed out. The NFL did a great job this weekend, I thought, with how they scheduled it. on Saturday and Sunday, all the time slots were filled with football, like both days. That was surprising. And so by the time we got around to whatever the 1 o'clock on Sunday was, I was like, oh, right, the Rams are playing. I wish I had known it was on the Nickelodeon broadcast.
Nickelodeon.
Because I wanted to see somebody get slimed. Now, you were there. What do they slime people in, like, real life, or is it just, like, is there any of that happened?
Yeah, they slimed like people that like Kurt Sandoval, one of our buds from
Kurt.
The,
Yes.
Yeah,
He got slimed. You could get slimed there. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so
I've never been slimed.
Got a chance to.
Yeah, it was a cool experience. You know, I'm all about it. And the thing I like about that though is it's the alternate broadcast. If you don't want to watch it, then don't. If you want to watch the traditional with was it Jim Nantz and Tony Romo, cool.
I'm Jim Nantz.
And even they got into the spirit where they had their Christmas sweaters and they had the graphic of them getting slimed, you know, the green screen. But I was watching that because I was in the backyard with the new members of the family. And so I brought out the computer to stream the game, and I couldn't find the Nickelodeon. I wanted to check out my boy Noah Eagle. He does a great job on the broadcast. He has fun with it. He's so good. He's so talented. And I kind of like when they do the little get into the touchdown and there's an explosion or a slime. And like it's not for the hardcore fan who wants to break down the X's and O's. It's a Christmas day. It's fun. And you never know what kid might watch and be like, oh, damn, you know what? All right, cool. Now I know who Cooper Kupp is or whatever it is. You know, something like that. It's just fun for the non-traditional fan.
I like it. I'm a fan. I would love to see it
in a
basketball game, too.
Yeah, I'm sure they could eventually. And I also really liked, because I was a fan of SpongeBob growing up, so I really liked the guy who voiced Patrick Star coming on and giving his commentary. It was hilarious to me.
Really?
I never watched Nickelodeon, but I love the slime.
You didn't watch Nickelodeon?
It's great.
Nah.
I guess you didn't have cable.
We didn't have cable.
The reason I started watching Nickelodeon is because, when I was a kid, I told you my parents were divorced, so basically TV is what raised me on a lot of levels. And I remember I came home from school one day, I think it was a Friday, and I watched the Kids' Choice Awards. And I was young enough so that I sort of understood what I was looking at, but I didn't really understand how programming worked. And so I assumed they did this every Friday night. So I just started watching Nickelodeon, hoping that I was going to see it. And then I realized, oh, my God, this is once a year. And that's how I fell in love with award shows.
That's lovely.
Yeah.
So it's still about the Rams game this past Sunday. So Russell Wilson got sacked a bunch. In case you guys didn't watch, it was kind of a blowout. So the Rams DJ kind of got into it. He started playing Level Up by Sierra whenever he got sacked. So it's out of pocket for the Rams DJ to play Level Up after Russell Wilson got sacked. Beto, Factor Cap.
DJ Mowski, huh?
Yep.
He's also the Clippers DJ, if I'm not mistaken. But
and USC.
Oh, and USC. So, look, it's low hanging fruit. It's low hanging fruit, right? Like, this would have been funnier 3 years ago, 4 years ago when they were brand new. But you know, they're like legit married and have kids and all that other stuff. I mean, yeah, I don't like it. It just, I know I'm being old man. Get off my lawn.
I was gonna say, you're above this. Are you kidding me?
No, it's not above this. It's just,
this is my kind of carrying on.
It's just like, man, we've already heard it over and over and over.
Bro,
I like the originality.
Stop it. Okay, look,
3 years ago it was funny. 4 years ago,
no, the bit is not designed to be original. The bit is designed to annoy the dude. And by the way, playing Sierra is not what's going to annoy him. Playing Future is what's going to annoy him. I don't understand what.
See, now Future I'm all about.
His wife's music, I don't even get that. Like, okay, sure, yeah, he's married to her. They have kids. They have hyperbaric chambers together. They do whatever they do. You play the X's music. That's the move right there.
That's what. See, I'm all about that one.
The king of toxicity.
I'm all about toxic, but it's just like the wife. It's easy, whatever. But
toxico.
Yeah.
That's a word I learned from TikTok.
Wait, stay away from las toxicas.
Toxicos, man. It's great. Toxico Twitter, as we call it on TikTok, which is weird to say.
You're so bad.
Taylor, what about you?
I wish I've said this before. Sorry. I need to be hanging out with more Mexicans.
I told you, man. I told you. Get out of the West Side, bro.
From the top.
Come over here.
Out of the West Side. Bro, you crazy? You know how warm it is out here? Taylor,
okay, yeah, it's just not out of pocket. So this is Cap for me. I mean, if they were broken up or the relationship was on the rocks,
then I love it.
But by all accounts, they're happily married, right? They're good.
Yeah, by all accounts.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
No problem.
All right, so one last one for you guys. So the movie Glass Onion came out on Netflix.
I watched it. Yes.
It's great. I loved it.
Yes. Because I had nothing else to do. I was trying to avoid TikTok, and I went on and watched Glass Onion. All right, go ahead.
Do I need to watch that? Sorry, go ahead.
Oh yes, you do need to watch it. It's great. Janelle Monáe is fantastic in it. So,
I wouldn't say
but
great, but it's good.
Okay, it's enjoyable.
All right,
There you
Beto.
go.
Enough with your hating on everything. Okay?
Wait, no, hey,
2
hey,
days after Christmas,
because
show some enthusiasm.
No.
You
You asked, do I need to watch it? And you're a busy man. If she's saying great,
busy man. I'm stuck with the sickness in my apartment.
You're watching
Christmas
cleaning
movies.
videos. You're busy. You got to figure things out. You're on a little. You're about to go find out about Rudy Valencia. You're busy.
It's a 2-hour commitment.
Exactly. So if she's saying it's great and it doesn't hold up to being great standards, then
yeah. Sorry, I don't need to oversell it. Yes, it's.
What was the question?
Yeah.
Is it great or
So
not?
my question is, you think you could solve a mystery if you were given all the clues? You think you could solve a mystery?
Yes,
Clinton.
facts.
She didn't even wait.
100%. What do you think this job is half the time? It's figuring out a mystery of who's lying to you and who's not. When you're trying to write a story about what's going on in the world, I could be a detective for sure, but then I'd have to be a police officer, and I don't want to do that. So,
What about a PI where you're not? You're your own boss.
That's
you're freelance.
That's a little close to the snitch community for me. I'd be sort of like the person that handles squabbles amongst groups of friends. Like I could be an advice columnist. That's what I could do. L.A. Times, hit me up. AITA. You know what I'm talking about? I can't say all those words. MIV such and such. I can handle those. I know those well because I've been in a lot of weird life situations.
Yeah.
Mysteries.
All right, Beto, what about you?
But you should watch it. You'll like it. Daniel Craig is really good. I like him with his accent and everything else. I like that. I got into it. Usually those are the kind of movies I don't like, but I like the following around the murder mystery. It was cool. I dug it. It was a good time. Could I be a detective? See, no, because I'm just going to go after everybody. Oh, no, it was you. And then oh, wait, hold on. No, it was you. Oh, wait, hold on. Like, I'm not going to wait to get all the evidence because.
Too reckless.
Yeah, so I got caught watching Jake Ryan the last 2 days. So I binged it, right? The CIA and going back and forth and who's lying to you. I have no patience for that. I'm going to be like, look, fool, you lying, yes or no? Like, tell me right now. Like, I need to know right now. And then I'm going to get him, and I'm going to get him, put him in the room together. Boom, hash it out. I just can't. I'm a terrible detective.
Fair enough.
Taylor,
Because
what
of no
about you?
patience.
Cap. Yeah, I don't think I'd be a good detective. I kind of would stand out in a crowd and not be very, conspicuous. So, Cap.
All right.
Or
I could see
inconspicuous, rather.
Taylor would be good at like a 21 Jump Street type role.
Oh, yeah. I can see him as Johnny
with the
Depp.
kids.
Go back to high school.
Yeah.
Coming up, I'm going to tell you guys what I've been doing sitting in my apartment for the past 2 days by myself. Travis and Sliwa. I'm Clint Yates. He's Beto Duran at 710.
Hey, Laker fans, John Ireland here. Have you downloaded the new ESPN LA app? You got to get this thing. It's great. You can get Travis and Sliwa, Mason and Ireland, Sedano and Cap, and all of our Lakers talk with Slee right in the palm of your hand.
You're just one tap away from everything Lakers. You could even win Lakers tickets.
React to the Lakers on ESPN LA app.
Download the new ESPN LA app in the App Store or on Google Play.
on 710.
4, 3, 2, 1. Level up, level up, level up, level up.
Travis and Sliwa, Duran and Yates, 710 ESPN, here on a Tuesday after Christmas. Having fun.
Yeah, we are.
I've been in my apartment the past couple days because I'm down with the sickness and haven't really had much to do, and so been trying to kill time. And one of the things I get a lot of swag like from various companies, typically in the form of clothes or trinkets or whatever. And some of the stuff is cool, some of it is not. But I got one free thing a couple months ago, which led me to buy some of the stuff on my own. And now that I had all this downtime, I said, you know what? Let me break these out of the box and actually do something with them. And what those are Lego flowers. Now, for those of you who are familiar with Legos,
2 hours and 40 minutes into the show. I'm waiting. I thought we were going to start the show with this. I purposely didn't text you. I didn't comment. I wanted. I'm glad we're going to get a full hour out of this.
So I opened them, look, I'm a reasonably, I wouldn't say handy, but I'm a pretty creative person. And I was like, all right, let me do these first couple ones because I had like a couple roses and a couple other flowers. And I put them together and I put them in a little vase, whatever you want to call it.
Vase. You speak French.
Well, je parle français. So I put them on my deck and I took a picture and people were like, oh, those are really nice. Where'd you get them? I was like, you people realize these are Legos, right? They're like, oh, I didn't even notice. And I'm like,
I didn't either. I didn't know they were
Legos. How are
Legos.
you looking at these flowers, not understanding that this is not what real, actual petals look like? And so
I thought it was a toy. Right. I thought it was some kind of like toy that you put together, but they didn't look like Lego. When you're just glancing through it, it doesn't look like Lego.
So I figured that out, and I was like, you know what? And I went. It was one of those deals where, oftentimes when I get really into something, like I don't know, I find it on TikTok. I'll buy a bunch of it just to see if I like it. And so I had like 3-4 boxes full of Lego botanicals, as they're known. And so I put together the first. Yes, that's the name of the line. It's actually quite lovely. So I put together the first couple.
Here's a rabbit hole.
I don't do a whole lot of Legoing, so it wasn't exactly like super familiar to me, but it was easier enough to learn. Once you figure out how you do the flower things, like you don't necessarily. I follow instructions. I'm not one of these idiots that tries to freestyle all the time. So it worked out well. So I put together the 2 smaller ones.
Stuff ain't cheap.
No, not cheap. And I said, you know what? Let me go to the bigger one. And like, dude, the bigger ones, bro, this was some of the most complicated arts and crafts work I had done in a really, really long time. We're talking tiny pieces. You're putting things in places that if you mess it up and you get one wrong, you got to go all the way back and basically tear the whole thing up. It took me about an hour to do the first bouquet, which was a mini one. It probably took me
Lego
about
Icons flower bouquet. I'm looking at this right now.
Yeah, it probably took me about 2 hours to do the flower bouquet one. And then the last one I did, which I did yesterday.
A joyful and elegant flower display that lasts.
Was the Birds of Paradise one.
Get creative, personalizing your bouquet.
Apparently, the official flower of Los Angeles is this flower that's in the Birds of Paradise.
Wow. Beautiful,
one.
Right?
Yeah, it's gorgeous. And
rearrange
so now,
the bouquet to suit your room or mood. A fun project for garden and flower enthusiasts.
As it turns out, these things kind of sway in the wind, too.
Yes.
They're not like rock hard. They kind of got some give to them, so they kind of look real. So now I have all 3 like on display in my kitchen. They look great. So you can see that. If you want to look at that, you can follow me on IG or on Twitter at Clinton Yates.
The best was when you were doing the play-by-play of it, and you were
a little bit, yeah.
Like you could hear the frustration a little bit, and then like, okay, this one got better. I'm like, what are you?
Some of them were hard, bro. Like, it's not easy. I'm not saying it's like so difficult that like whatever it requires any sort of actual knowledge.
But you have instructions. Come on.
No. These weren't regular instructions. He wasn't building a little car here. This was like.
Instructions are obviously critical, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it's easy to do because there's a lot of repetition and like if you don't really figure out, look, it's not that easy, but it's also quite therapeutic. The other thing I did is this: I watched a bunch of Christmas movies. Now, I'm the kind of person that doesn't like watching something if I think I know what's going to happen, which is kind of a problem in Christmas movies because you kind of always know what's going to happen.
Yeah, the guy gets the girl and they kiss.
I watched one movie called Love Hard. And
All right,
this
hold
was
on
about
here.
Interesting.
this was about a guy who
Don't Google that.
don't Google it. I'm going to tell you about it right now, bro.
2021 romance comedy.
Guy,
Okay.
don't read it out loud on the air and botch the bit, Beto. Goodness gracious, let me lay it out. So anyway, it's a movie about a guy who excuse
Loves
me.
hard.
The woman writes about bad dating experiences for a living. That's her job as a journalist.
Sex in the City.
She lives in L.A. They've got scenics of Venice Beach and all this. I was like, oh, this is great.
Santa Monica Pier.
You know what I'm saying? All that crap. And so it's a movie though about a guy who she ends up getting catfished after she goes across the country to meet some dude she's really liked that she's been texting with a lot that she met on a dating site. Trust me, this is hitting way close to home for me. So I was like, I'm all in on this story. Turns out the guy she gets catfished. It turns out the guy is not this like good-looking, kind of somewhat Mediterranean-looking dude. It's this kind of frumpy Asian guy. You know what I'm saying? And it's like,
whoa,
it's like a big change from what she's used to. Long story short, she ends up falling in love with the actual dude because that's what happened. But
she got catfished.
This movie was really, really good, and it was.
Wait! She falls in love with the dude who lied to her.
Because the dude ends up being much cooler than the dude that was actually the guy.
But you can't catfish. You can't
again,
Wait, hold on. Wait. You told me this. No, forget it's just a movie. Come on, we gotta be realistic here. She's really gonna say, oh, okay, you lied to me about this, and this, but
go on.
But he has a heart.
Yeah, I'm just saying. She fell in love with the actual dude. It didn't end up mattering what he looked like, which is a little bit far-fetched.
That's the Christmas movie I watched, Love is Blind.
A little bit far-fetched. But the best part of the movie was that they argue over what the best Christmas movie is, and the dude is unabashedly a Love Actually fan. And so, spoiler alert, at the end of the movie, when she realized...
Wait, Love Actually, that's a good one, right?
When she realizes that she's actually in love with him, she does the whole Love Actually bit at the end of the thing.
Oh,
it's
that's
really
cool.
Good. Yes, exactly. Thank you.
That's
okay?
cool. Hey, Love Actually, I like that.
You.
Look, for me,
right.
I like Love Actually. And this is coming from the guy who doesn't like anything, right? So, no, for Emily, don't be just because the movie's older than you. You can't be saying to it, all right? No, Love Actually was a good one.
Love Actually is fine. It's completely fine, but it's not the greatest.
But okay,
Christmas
how does she come? How does he come back from the lie? That's the whole thing. That would have been over for me. The
way it unfolds, because he asked her to marry her, and she says yes for whatever reason, because she's like going along with the bit because he actually knows the guy whose picture he used for the catfish, and she's trying to get with him, and he promises to help her. That blows up in their face when she's just like, I can't lie anymore. This is all a problem, and it's at the engagement party. It's a mess. It's worth watching though.
Yeah, that's a hard pass.
Trust me.
That's a cap. Rotten Tomatoes, don't like it. IMDb 6. You know what?
Well, since when do we listen to Rotten Tomatoes?
All the time.
Rotten Tomatoes is its own thing. It's like not really accurate
I
at
don't
describing
even know. I've never
whether
deal with that.
Let me see. I don't even know anybody in this. Nina,
Clinton, I
Dobrev.
need you to get a letterbox so I can see all the things that you watch and see how it goes. Do you know
you
what
know
a letterbox
what?
is?
That's something I can do, because the other two movies I watched, one was about a super famous writer who was having trouble dealing with his parents, and he ends up falling in love with the daughter of his parents' nanny that they find together on this like crazy mystery somewhere up in the Northeast, which was fantastic. And lastly, this was the best one I watched of all, was Bad Moms 2. Bad Mom Christmas. That movie is hilarious. If you've never seen that movie, I know I'm in a mom phase. It's a whole thing, but if you've never seen that movie, Beto, you need to watch it.
Let me think about that. Nope.
You've never seen that? Have you seen the first one?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
You don't know what Bad Moms is? It's like
No.
Bad Moms is great.
Yeah.
This is why I watch Seinfeld and Curb, right? Just to avoid these kind of movies. Right?
Can you step into the 21st
No,
century?
because if I'm going to be on this show, I got to sound like Travis, right? So I got to be in that zone of like, just stay in my ear. I'm going to watch The Office.
I think Travis would think Bad Moms is funny, in fact.
Is Love Hard a good movie? That's a question on Google. Love Hard might not be anything close to required viewing, but it's still a quite fun film to start the holiday season.
Thank you.
Mostly watchable romantic comedy.
Can we change the name of the movie though from Love Hard?
Yeah,
to
I didn't really get what that. I feel like they sort of fell back on that. That felt like one of those things where it was like the working title, but they never really got to a real one. So there's a really funny scene in
Emily
that
the
movie.
Criminal.
There's a really funny scene in the movie where she has to do karaoke to impress the guy who she thinks the catfish is, but she has an allergic reaction, and it's hilarious. Enough of the
Hold
Christmas
on, please.
movies.
Here it is. Here's how we end it. I tune in to listen to you, Beto. You're never on the radio. Where's the sports talk? Lego Flowers, Love Actually. Who are you? What have you become? I kind of dig it.
Thank you. I'm television's Clinton Yates. This is Travis and Sliwa on 710 ESPN.
What color is Rudolph's nose?
Come on, Keith.
It's red.
It's red.
There you go. Who did Michael Jackson see kissing Santa Claus?
His mother.
No, mommy.
Mommy.
I saw mommy.
A mother, but I
kissing
said mother,
Santa
mommy,
Claus.
same thing.
Santa Claus.
Yeah. Mommy, mother, kissing Santa
it's
Claus.
mommy. It's not mother.
Well, it's the same thing.
How do you say Merry Christmas in Spanish?
Merry Christmas. Oh yeah, that's right. Feliz Navidad. I knew that in elementary school. What am I thinking?
You worked with producer Jorge for years. He
Yeah,
taught you.
true.
He taught you.
Name Santa's reindeers. Oh boy.
Oh God, yeah. So you got Rudolph, Pixar or somebody like that? Blixen.
Donner?
No, not the Donner.
No?
No. No. Blixer or Flixer or something.
We got Rudolph.
Flixer. Man, I don't remember.
Finish the lyrics. I just want you for my own, more than you could ever know.
My Christmas. No, my Mariah Carey.
Yeah, but finish the lyrics.
All I want
for you Christmas is you. Yeah, Mariah. I knew it was Mariah.
Good job, Keith.
Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, and thanks for tuning in each and every single morning on 710 ESPN.
Sliwa, Travis and Sliwa is on for your Tuesday. We're here each weekday, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. We begin 9 hours of LA sports talk all day long. Well, feels good to be back, sort of. Hope you had a great Christmas weekend, your holiday weekend. You celebrate Hanukkah, Kwanzaa. We're back with our LA Sports Mega Block. But Travis and Sliwa have the day off. Clinton Yates, the big CY, and the Cisco Kid at 710, Beto Duran are sitting in today for the fellas. 5 days until the new year, 2023, and in 1 week, 7 days, we officially begin the biggest year ever at ESPN LA. Don't miss it, Tuesday, January 3rd. All the shows are back. Live Imaging Tuesday returns, and we kick off 2023 with a bang, yo. Why do we say with a bang? It should be with a bam! Meanwhile, producer Emily's here, producer Taylor, and producer Emily, for some reason today, has the Phil Collins Tarzan movie soundtrack stuck in her head. Well, I loved that Tarzan movie soundtrack. Phil Collins had some bangers on that one, like this one. Anyway, it's random, I know. Lakers back on the court tonight. We'll talk Rams. We'll talk about it all. Let's get it rolling. Clinton and Beto sitting in for Travis and Sliwa here Tuesday right now.
What up? Happy Tuesday. Shouts to Morales. Missed that guy, man. Haven't seen him in a while. I saw he got a pretty cool gift from his parents that he had like a big quilt with all his catchphrases on it. Did you see that, Beto?
No, that's interesting. Very nice. Mucho Morales. Shout out. Legend here in LA.
He posted
Very
that
cute.
on it was very cute. I thought that was quite cool. But yeah, so it's Tuesday after Christmas, got a lot going on. The Amelia Bedelia Bowl or whatever this is.
Camellia Bowl.
is
Buffalo
happening. Oh,
and
sorry.
Georgia Southern, man. They're battling right now.
guys.
Georgia
There's
Southern
that.
winning.
There's a little Premiership action if you care about watching live sports. But me and Beto Duran are here with you for another hour, and we're going to talk a little bit of Lakers right now. So the Lakers lost $124 to $115 to the Mavericks on Christmas. It was kind of in that, you described this earlier, Beto, as kind of a in-between game. It wasn't exactly, you know what I mean, like the marquee matchup in terms of the first or the last game of the day. But there was one particular quote that I thought was interesting because this team, without Anthony Davis, is obviously wayward. It's going to be really hard to sort of even make a real analysis of who they should be. But LeBron said a couple things, and he said this one particular thing after the game, which was very interesting to me. He said, quote, "I look at it the other way too. Like, how many times are you going to try to dig yourself out until it's too much dirt on you?" Like, that, Beto, is a very interesting outlook from somebody whom, A, is playing for their own personal goals in terms of breaking Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's scoring record, but B, has said continuously to the franchise, I need more. I need more. At this point, to sort of insinuate, well, maybe we might as well just give up, I thought it was a little weird, Beto.
Dirt on you. That's some frustration talk.
Yeah.
This is, look what I'm doing. Look what I'm putting up. Look what I'm doing it around me. It's essentially a 1 against 5 most nights now. And, yeah, you know, LeBron and his backers, they're involved in the selection process of what goes on with the team, right? They're heavily active. But we start hearing more LeBron sending these messages after every game. Remember, it used to be maybe once in a blue moon.
Probably
kind of
once
thing.
a month you got one of these. Yeah.
Now it's him sitting back, just kind of arms back here. The way he holds the microphone, you know, that I'm here kind of just because I have to be here, but I don't want to say anything. Because that's not LeBron's way to go off, you know, like, and just let it happen, right? And just be quiet, loud about it. And, like, we got to do this, we got to do that, or cuss it up a storm. That's not his way, right? He's calculated with what he does. But you hear more things without saying, tell Rob to get me somebody, without saying, we got to do this. It's more of, you know, the last couple of times of, I'm here, you know, I would hope they do something. But that line right there, dirt on you.
That, to me, it sends a different message than all the stuff you just brought up, Beto. Him talking about not getting guys is one thing. Him talking about how difficult it is for the team to get in a rhythm because they have different man hours and they haven't been able to gel on the court is another. But to say you're going to try to dig yourselves out until it's too much dirt on you, that implies a level of at least – I'm not going to say LeBron is checked out. I don't think it's possible for LeBron to check out. I think that because of who he is as a competitor, as a teammate, and as an NBA individual, he's going to be giving you his all.
Yeah.
But if LeBron doesn't actually believe that this team is good enough to win it all,
that's the factor.
That's an issue.
That's
you know what I'm
the
saying?
factor.
Because I think that's a reasonable thought from him, by the way.
Yeah,
you know?
the factor of, you're right. He's going to show up every single night when he's on the court. He's going to give you everything from him, right? He's going to get you a near triple-double. He's going to get you the points. He's going to put on the show. But at the same time, once you get into that mode of, we're doing this to be a 7 seed?
Yeah.
I'm doing all this for what? I'm doing all this, and all we're going to do is get bounced in the first round quick? Right? Like, why, at the age of 38, with all the miles on your body of what you've done, yeah, you won a title a few years ago. And since then, you know, that wears on athletes. Clinton, you're around some of the most premier athletes in the world in their prime. They don't really focus on the wins. It's always the losses and how it's going, right?
It's true.
They're very important, and they are very knowledgeable of what their legacy is. And right now, if LeBron ends his run with the Lakers in this manner, we're on a team that's clinging to compete, that's going to be his legacy too, right? You're going to hear, LeBron in Cleveland, one thing. LeBron in Miami, one thing. LeBron in L.A.,
Yeah, it's true. It's tough, but
that wears on him, doesn't it?
It also might be the best thing that's happened to this franchise in the last 10 years. We'll get to more of that later, but we got some phone calls here. 877-710 ESPN. Chuck in Irvine, you're on with Beto and Yates. What's up, dude?
Hey, Beto. I just want to tell you, I think you missed a major point of the title. The girl thought the best Christmas movie was Die Hard. The guy thought Love Actually. That's where the title came from.
I didn't see. He skipped that part. He didn't say Die Hard in the.
That's
recap.
true. I forgot to mention that.
If she's dropping Die Hard, then I'm all in.
Yeah, that's what made it so funny. Anyway, it was written by Rebecca Ewing, who is an agent in L.A., and it was her first effort, and she did very well with it. The movie is very
that's good to know.
Right,
okay. Chuck, let me ask you, when did you watch this movie? Was this something you just came to on your own like myself, or did somebody show it to you?
No, because I knew I went to high school with her father, so I went to the premiere.
Oh.
It premiered last year in last Christmas. I think it was right after Thanksgiving. It premiered in Michigan.
Chuck's on the red carpet. That a baby.
Nice.
We got
Thanks,
people
Chuck.
on the big
one.
That's a great phone call right there. So, yes, I did omit some of the things from the story. Her favorite movie was Die Hard. His was Love Actually.
Now I'm watching
There's a very funny part in the movie, too, where it all comes to a head and the other guy ends up yelling about it. But anyway, Jeff in Encino, you seem upset that we're talking about Christmas movies that have a very predictable plot ending. You're on 710. What's up?
Yes, I basically was going to make the same point. It's a Hallmark it's not Hallmark, but it's a Hallmark format. Maybe it's PG as opposed to G, but it's pretty funny. And you already gave away the ending, but I would recommend people watch it anywhere. Anyway, there are very, very funny parts. And the cast is not entirely unknown. Nita Dobrev has been in a few things.
Yeah.
The Asian guy, he was like the sidekick to the sidekick from Aquafina in Crazy Rich Asians.
Yes.
And the good-looking guy, he's also part Asian. He's on a Netflix series, Never Have I Ever. So they're not completely unknowns.
Okay. All right.
Hold on.
You got me there.
What are their names, though?
Nina Dobrev is the only name I know off the top of my head.
See? That proves my point.
No, appreciate the phone call. Thank
Yeah.
you, Jeff. Look, see, I told people know these movies, bro. You thought I was out here pulling stuff out of my behind out of nowhere. Absolutely not. It's a funny movie.
But I hate
the ending doesn't matter. What?
Yeah.
It's a
I hate the
holiday
whole
movie.
discussion around is Die Hard a Christmas movie. It's so old and done over with, and it's just like I assume that's why it was called Love Hard too.
It's not
but,
a big part of the movie. I will give you that.
No.
If it had been too much of the movie, I would have.
It's
turned
a
it off
little nudge, a little wink at it.
It's
right?
just an inroad to discussing Christmas movies. It's not like a whole hagiography to Die Hard as a Christmas.
So,
movie
what
status.
streaming service is this on? Like, where can I
It's
watch
on
this said
Netflix.
movie?
I saw it on Netflix. Yeah, it's definitely on
Okay.
Netflix. It's good.
All right.
It's good.
I'll watch it tonight.
I enjoyed it quite a bit.
Actually, I'll watch it on the plane tomorrow when I'm going to hang out.
It's
with
a good.
Sedano.
It's a great plane movie. Absolutely.
Great plane movie. All right, I'm gonna download it right now just for you, CY. I'm gonna get rid of Star Wars and I'm gonna put it on.
Why you got to get rid of Star Wars, bro?
I don't have any storage on my phone.
There's never a world in which we get rid of Star Wars. Anyway, I'm really glad that guy called in to explain that because I don't know that I actually never necessarily understood that myself, to be quite honest. I was like, what is Love Hard? What does that even mean? But, okay, that makes more sense. I mean, I watched the whole movie, and I didn't really understand that. But then again, I'm an idiot. That's why I'm watching Christmas movies by myself on Christmas. Coming up, going to talk a little bit about the National Basketball Association, but not the Lakers, Beto. Some people think that some other people should be coming to town, and those other people already play for different NBA teams. I'm Clinton Yates. He's Beto Duran. This is 710 ESPN.
Hey, Laker fans, John Ireland here. Have you downloaded the new ESPN LA app? You got to get this thing. It's great. You can get Travis and Sliwa, Mason and Ireland, Sedano and Cap, and all of our Lakers talk with Slee right in the palm of your hand.
You're just one tap away from everything Lakers. You could even win Lakers tickets.
React to the Lakers on ESPN LA app.
Download the new ESPN LA app in the App Store or on Google Play.
as we count down 2022 and get ready for the biggest year in the history of ESPN LA 2023. We got Clinton Yates and Beto sitting in right now on Travis and Sliwa on your Tuesday on 710.
Jam.
Travis and Sliwa, Duran and Yates, 710 ESPN. We're talking about Christmas movies.
Dude, you struck a chord, man. You struck a chord with this Love Hard movie.
I'm telling you, man. Love Hard. It's a cool movie.
Daniel Wynn in the Travis and Sliwa community says the main actress is Shaun White's girlfriend. So people
Really?
doing their research,
Nina
man.
Dobrev.
They know
I
what's
didn't
up.
realize that she was an item with Shaun White.
Yeah.
The more you know. How about that? Yeah. Okay.
She's from. She was in Degrassi. She was also in.
She looked familiar.
Vampire
She certainly
Yeah,
looked familiar.
I
I
love
wasn't
her.
implying she was a nobody. I just didn't know who she was. That's two different things. So, everybody there looked kind of familiar, which is kind of why the movie worked. I was like, oh, right, I know that person from somewhere. They're not completely random, so that worked out. It's kind of like how people feel when they're listening to me and Beto fill in during
I kind of know
Kwanzaa
him,
week.
but
yeah, on 710. So we mentioned we were going to talk about the NBA, and Emily, I want to get to something you sent me if you want to set this up for me. So we all know that Lakers fans are constantly living in a world where they think that there are just inanimate players walking the earth that they can just plug in and plug out of what they think that their franchise can do. And one of these players is one, apparently, Trae Young. Can you please explain to me what you sent me, Emily?
Right. So so it was, I guess, rumbling around last week. I want to say it was Chris Haynes that came out and said that if another Trae Young might be the next young player that's on the move. Trade rumors, etc. And then, of course,
he's been arguing with his coach, right?
Yeah. And then, as course as always is, they sent out this odds to get Trae Young next from BetAG online or BetOnline AG, and Lakers are at 4th odds, split with Denver Nuggets. So.
Yeah, so the list goes as follows, Beto. Number 1, Dallas Mavericks. Number 2, Miami Heat. Number 3, Boston Celtics. And apparently the Lakers and the Nuggets are tied at 4. And after that, the list gets a little different. Number 6 is the Spurs. Number 7 is the Pelicans. 8, the Clippers. 9, the Blazers and the Jazz. Now, okay. I mean, the Lakers are on this list at effectively 5. What do you think about that, Beto? Trae Young to the Lakers for what exactly? I don't really know. I don't know how much I love that fit necessarily.
There's a reason they're 5, right? Because it's not happening. It's you look at what the head of them. You mentioned Dallas, and you have teams who
better teams
and teams that can win now, right?
Yeah.
Teams, if they add a guy like Trae Young and however he fits into their system and the organization, it puts them one step closer to a championship. You add Trae Young to this Laker team, what do you get?
You get a Laker team with Trae Young.
Yeah, you're not getting a team that's going to be a number 1 or 2 seed, right? And it's also the Lakers been reluctant to trade those picks. And if you're Atlanta and you have Trae Young on your team, you're asking for a haul to get him back. And it doesn't matter if he's had issues with his coach or not. You're going to give up a player of that magnitude. You don't exactly have to sell him. You're going to hold out for the highest bidder, right? You're going to hold out for whatever you need to get for your organization to get better. And, the Atlanta fan base is an interesting one because they can be fair weather at times, but they know what they can have in a player like Trae Young. So why are we just going to give him away? Oh, because it's the Lakers. And that's also, you look at the situation, I can see why the Lakers are 5th in odds from BetOnline to possibly get him because they could do something. But you have a team like Dallas, and who are the other ones? Like
Dallas, the Heat, who are pretty good, and the Celtics.
Yep.
Like the Celtics is an interesting one because the Celtics are good.
Yep.
I was watching the Celtics yesterday,
They're
and I
fun.
thought for the first,
I hate
they're
saying
fun.
that.
They're fun. They've got depth, and they were a team that, I've said this on TV with some regularity, which is, it's not always about thinking that a team is going to win the title or is going to do this or do that, but sometimes you see a squad and you say, you know what, they could. Like, I'm watching this team, and this is a team that could win an NBA championship. And I think the Celtics, frankly, right now, are that team, and the Lakers are not. And that's why I wouldn't necessarily understand why somebody like Trae Young, people say, oh, he wants to come to the Lakers, he wants to come to L.A. That bloom is so off the rose when it comes to winning titles, and I think everybody kind of knows that. And so for him to come to L.A., I think would be a very interesting move because it would mean a player who is a current young star teaming with an older LeBron, which we've seen before with Wade, but it's just kind of he's a different player. There are different phases.
But AD at an MVP level this season if he's healthy. I mean,
well, again,
you had a shooter like Trae Young.
Here's the if. Yeah, the
this is
Lakers need a
if.
shooter, but at what cost?
I also don't know that you can get Trae Young without giving up one of those guys
No.
either. You know what I'm saying? And that's kind of where this gets difficult. It's just, it doesn't seem that there's any combination of humans that can just magically appear or be transacted into winning for the Lakers right now, Beto. It seems like the guys you got to get way better, or else you're just going to be who you are. And that's probably out of the playoffs.
And right now, Atlanta's a 7 seed. So they could easily just say, you know what? We're going to suck it up, and we're going to deal with it. We're going to ride with him, and we're going to just get into the playoffs in any way we can, right? You see the reports out of Atlanta that he's had issues with the coach, that they've had different kind of internal meetings trying to figure out what's going on. So obviously there's smoke, there's fire. There's something going on there. But you're going to hold out. You know, if you have him, you're a 7 seed. You don't have him, you're an 8 seed, right? What's the difference, you know, for them? So you want to make sure you have that. And then Boston at 21-10. I mean, 24-10 is their record, right? They're so good.
They're good, bro. Have you watched them like with any regularity this season? They're a fantastic basketball.
As much as I hate anything Boston related when it comes to basketball, because you know I hate Kevin McHale when I was a kid, I would just hate that guy, right? You're watching, you're like, damn, Tatum is so much fun. Tatum gets going, and they're doing it without players that they need right now.
They're doing it without their coach. You remember what happened at the beginning of the season?
Yeah,
their coach got banged out. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, and now it's a pretty remarkable job that's being done there in Boston in terms of the level of success they're having.
Yeah, after watching them play against the Lakers, I'm like, let me watch them again. They are a team. I just love the way that Tatum moves around. I just love the way he gets after it, and he has that dog in him of, give me the ball, and I'm going to knock it down, and I don't care what you're doing. Get out of my way. I'm going to win no matter what. And I hate that fact that we're talking about Boston right here, but damn it, you got to give credit where credit is due.
If you're going to talk about the best teams in the NBA right now in 2022 going on 2023, you got to talk about the Boston Celtics because they're just that good of a team. Did you know what I watched last night?
What you got?
I got into a little bit of a rabbit hole. And I turned on.
Oh, man, I'm sorry. I'm distracted right now. My kids' team just won on a buzzer beater down in San Diego at the Torrey Pines tournament.
Do we have highlights? That's good to hear.
They won. That's why if you're watching me, I'm fist pumping 68-67.
He kept doing. Okay.
Yeah.
So just quick behind the curtain here. Behind the curtain here. Beto's been popping random fist pumps. I can't see what he's looking at for the past 3 segments, and I just assumed that I don't know what he was doing. I figured he was signaling the tail or whatever. Clearly, you've been watching the end of this game.
Yeah, well, I've been watching the whole game. So they're down in San Diego playing at the Torrey Pines tournament, and I actually texted to Kaplan because that's the school his daughter goes to.
Okay.
And so my son's school is playing against Kaplan's daughter's school, and they've been going back and forth. Mind you, this is a team that they have no idea what day it is right now because of travel.
Right,
and there's no audio. It's just a view from Baller TV. So it's just like one camera zooming back and forth. So there's no time. So I didn't know what time it was. Then all of a sudden I see kids jumping up and down, throwing each other on the floor, 68-67, and they were ready to celebrate. And now the referees are like, hold on. I guess they're going to add time. Okay. All right. Anyways, so I thought we won. Yeah, I said we because I paid tuition.
Is there any chance Cappy's at this game?
No. Cappy's busy doing something, a black speech or something.
Okay. Anyway, so I got into a bit of a rabbit hole because what was I watching? I think I watched an episode of the Shaq documentary. And for whatever reason,
I tried.
I found myself on the 1998 NBA All-Star game in New York, which was Kobe. It was basically the Kobe versus MJ.
That was Kobe's first All-Star game, right?
Second. It was the Kobe versus MJ All-Star game, basically. And, bro, I did not – the 1998 NBA All-Star game might be the most important All-Star game of our generation. Like, the players in that game – like, Reggie Miller hit a 3 in that game. Sean Kemp also dunked a basketball in that game. Like, Shaq and Kobe were in that. So was Steve Smith. He hit a 3 in that game.
Steve Smith.
Yes. There were so many names. I was like, hold on a second. I was like, these guys were still in the league at this point, and like it reminded me of
Jordan MVP. There you go.
Yeah, the reason I thought of it is because it reminded me of sort of like now, which is that we're at a point in the league where we've got our established another fist pump from Beto.
Yeah, we won. It's official. We win 68-67.
So they went to review that. There was a VAR there.
They added a second, so there we go.
Okay.
Let's go.
Let's go. All right.
So good for them. What was I saying?
So announcers on NBC: Costas, Isaiah Thomas, and Bill Walton.
Yes, that was the other thing. The announcers were telling all sorts of wild stories, and I watched like an extended highlight clip, probably 20 minutes of it. I didn't watch the entire game, and I was like, man, what I wouldn't give for an oral history of that specific All-Star game, because it was a changing of the guard that reminds me of right now, which is you've got your older established stars in the league who are kind of on the way out in some regards, but are still very much at the highest level of their game. You've got a lot of the young guys who are very much still household names, and that particular game was where sort of a lot of things really kind of changed. I think that's kind of where we are
The
right
coaches,
now.
I'm looking this up right now.
Yeah.
George Karl of the Seattle Supersonics.
Yeah.
And Larry Bird of the Pacers.
Bird. That was the craziest
Coach of
thing.
the year that year, I think.
Bird, right? And like, I was turning on that game and I was like, man, every face they showed, I was like, that guy was there. Like, not that I was not cognizant of what was happening at the time.
Yeah, you just don't think about it.
You don't think about it. And I didn't remember. But yeah, turn on the '98 NBA.
Yeah, Kobe's first one at the age of 19.
I thought it was his second one.
This would be the All-Star debut of Kobe Bryant, who became the youngest All-Star in NBA history.
Didn't he go to the dunk contest at 18 though? And win it?
Dunk contest. Yeah, but this was his
Okay,
first
so he wasn't an
All-Star
All-Star
game.
there. Okay,
Remember,
all
he was
right,
coming off the bench the first 2 years.
Yeah, well, he came off the bench. He came off the bench and was an All-Star that year.
Yeah. Also, the debut for rookie Tim Duncan. Wow. Kobe had 18. Jordan MVP with 23, 6, and 8. 4 Lakers were on the team. Wow.
Shaq, Kobe,
Eddie Jones.
Nick Van Exel, baby.
Oh, right, and Nicky V. It was his
Nicky
only
V.
ever All-Star appearance.
Yeah.
I believe that's right. Yeah. Crazy game.
How about this one? This is great. Now we're down the rabbit hole. 10 players from this game would not play in another All-Star game.
That's what I didn't know that off the top of my head, but that's the point I was getting at.
Yeah.
We might be looking at a situation like that with the NBA All-Star game this season.
Nick Van Exel, Mitch Richmond,
Rick Smits,
Vin Baker, Penny, Sean Kemp, Tim Hardaway, Steve Smith, Glenn Rice, Jason Williams, and Rick Smits. You're right.
Rick Smits. Wow. Yeah.
Wow.
Those are some names. Talk about name some guys. Anyway.
Woo.
It was a very interesting watch. I've been watching a lot of my television, as you can tell, based on the programming on this show.
Yeah.
Coming up, we're going to talk about my favorite quarterback in the NFL. He happens to play for the Los Angeles Chargers. I'm Clinton Yates. He's Beto Duran.
What color is Rudolph's nose?
Come on, Keith.
It's red.
It's red.
There you go. Who did Michael Jackson see kissing Santa Claus?
His mother.
No, mommy.
Mommy.
I saw mommy.
A mother, but I
kissing
said mother,
Santa
mommy,
Claus.
same thing.
Santa Claus.
Yeah. Mommy, mother, kissing
Well,
Santa
it's
Claus.
mommy. It's not mother.
Well, it's the same thing.
How do you say Merry Christmas in Spanish?
Merry Christmas. Oh yeah, that's right. Feliz Navidad. I knew that in elementary school. What am I thinking?
You worked with producer Jorge for years. He
Yeah,
taught you.
true.
He taught you.
Name Santa's reindeers. Oh boy.
Oh God, yeah. So you got Rudolph, Pixar or somebody like that? Blixen.
Donner?
No, not the Donner.
No?
No. No. Blixer or Flixer or something.
We got Rudolph.
Rudolph. Flixer. Man, I don't remember.
Finish the lyrics. I just want you for my own, more than you could ever know.
My Christmas. No, my Mariah Carey.
Yeah, but finish the lyrics.
All I want
for you Christmas is you. Yeah, Mariah. I knew it was Mariah.
Good job, Keith.
Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, and thanks for tuning in each and every single morning on 710 ESPN.
Hey, Laker fans, John Ireland here. Have you downloaded the new ESPN LA app? You got to get this thing. It's great. You can get Travis and Sliwa, Mason and Ireland, Sedano and Cap, and all of our Lakers talk with Slee right in the palm of your hand.
You're just one tap away from everything Lakers. You could even win Lakers tickets.
React to the Lakers on ESPN LA app.
Download the new ESPN LA app in the App Store or on Google Play.
So during the last segment, I got a text from my sister. So I initially texted the family, and I was like, "Hey guys, did anybody go out and get this thing I requested from the grocery store?" So there's this specific type of cider that's like really great here in Virginia, and I can't get it anywhere else. So like when I come home, I like to get it when I'm here. So I said, "Hey guys, anybody go pick out Bold Rock?" And my sister says, "Already did." She said, "The Bold Rocks fell, so only 10 made it out." So here's the situation. Either my sister dropped it at the grocery store, dropped it in the grocery store parking lot, or dropped it at my house. And none of these I know the answer to. And I think that it's just
or
a lovely
is lying
mystery.
to you and drank them.
Hold on.
Yes, drank them on the way home.
What is it?
So these are ciders. So it's like a hard cider. So it's hard apple juice essentially. And they're in bottles. So like she just said the Bold Rocks fell, so only 10 made it out.
So hold on, to be clear,
it's a lot.
She specifically said, like, what was written specifically was the Bold Rocks fell. Passive.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, the Bold Rocks fell.
That is a clear indication of guilt. Whenever somebody intonates, "Oh, it just kind of happened," that means they are either definitively at fault through commission or at fault potentially through omission of oversight from somebody else carrying them. She is responsible for said Bold Rocks either way. That's my opinion.
Yes. It's like a 12-pack?
I maybe. So I
and
don't
only
know,
two, two casualties.
Yes.
How
two
does that
casualties.
happen?
I think I'm looking out. Yeah, exactly. Like, I
Is
don't
the
know.
12-pack a whole box or is it 2 sixers?
So it could be the 2 sixers or the case. She usually gets the case because it lasts longer, obviously. So I think it might have been like a 12-pack that 2 fell out or 2 got cracked. And
You know what? It's Christmas.
Yes.
At least you got 10.
I think she drank them.
Yeah.
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 Clearly.
She took a couple.
Could be.
Yeah.
Go check the
because
box. If the box is wet, different story.
Yes.
Are you upset
And-
about this? Do you need 12
Yeah, do you
at a
need all
time?
10?
I don't
You trying to get
I
loaded
don't
or
need
what?
all
What's going
10.
on here?
I'm okay. I don't need all 10. It's just a curious, weird text that I had. I am, however, going to get drunk at Olive Garden later, and that'll be very fun.
Okay,
My
so
sisters and I are going to go.
let's chalk talk.
Whoa,
it.
wait,
Just to be clear. No, because you mentioned this before the show. And there's
Yes.
a funny prompt going around on Twitter, too, right now, which is, what were your celebration restaurants when you were a kid?
Yes,
And, like,
totally.
Olive Garden is up there. So
We gonna sizzler.
Exactly.
We gonna
Sizzler.
sizzler.
Shouts to White Man Can't
Yes.
Jump. So you're going on your own will to Olive Garden with your sisters just to catch
Yes.
up. What's the
Yes,
scene
so it's gonna-
like
Wait,
at Olive Garden?
wait. You're going to drink at Olive Garden?
Okay, we're going to go eat and to drink at Olive Garden. So it's going to be me, my sisters, so the 2 that are here, and our 2 cousins who live nearby, and then my friend from high school. And essentially the prompt is we're going to dish. We're going to tell all the drama, all the family
Right.
tea. It's going to be great. And we're going to drink. We're going to have breadsticks. We're going to have salad. But the whole thing is I really wanted to go to a chain restaurant. I wanted to go to either Chili's or Olive Garden for the 2 things I wanted to do. And I was having like a Sophie's Choice last night trying to choose between the 2. And I ended up choosing Olive Garden. Because we're in Olive Garden desert in LA. I couldn't find anywhere near where I was going to live. And
An Olive Garden desert.
Good.
Because we need more Olive
You're
Gardens
welcome. This is
in
called a
the
big city.
Southland.
This is a big city. There is
This is my
great
culture, guys.
cuisine.
Go on. Go on.
My culture is white suburbia, and I really
Yeah,
like
get out of
myself
it.
some
Get
Olive
out of
Garden.
it.
That's fun. I enjoy that on some level.
What do we always say? Know your audience, explore,
Yeah.
get out of your bubble. Damn it, woman. There's so much good Italian food here. But hey, you know,
She's
okay.
not here. She's in Virginia.
Yeah, but I'm saying she's missing Olive Garden, which is wow. But good for you. All right, so let's go. Olive Garden, we're getting hammered. And you said you got to hash things out, like grievances
No,
here?
it's more like we're not hashing out with us. We're just spilling the tea.
Talking
Like,
S.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
We're just,
All
we're
right.
just gossiping.
All right.
Are
It's
you
gonna be
going to
great.
do one of those? Are you going to do one of those? Since everything is TikTok related now, are you going to do one of those my friends and their problems thing where you introduce people and then you just write heinous details about their actual personal lives that nobody actually wants to know, but is really
I don't know if I'm going to make a TikTok. I usually we'll probably just do drink numbers, whatever, and we'll probably split a bottle of wine or
A
2.
bottle?
and-
This is happening tonight.
Yes. Yes, it's happening tonight.
Yes, we need the TikTok for the content, Emily. You're living the radio lifestyle. We
I'm
need to
gonna-
know
hold on here. Let me
what
find my
happens
password.
coming out of that dinner. I need to know. By the way,
I'll tell you
how
tomorrow.
tanked do people usually get at Olive Garden? Like, how does that go? Is there a separate bar from the tables at Olive
I've never drank at the Olive Garden
There's
bar.
bars at
Please.
Olive Garden. Yeah.
Like, I can walk into Olive Garden and just say, I'm going to the bar?
Whoa.
Yes, you can.
Yeah, you can eat at the
And
bar.
when you're here,
Like there's the
your
one in
family.
Torrance by us at the
Yeah, it's by Del Amo.
by Del Amo Mall. Okay.
Really?
All right.
See, it's still a little far for me.
Okay,
I don't
Emily,
have
hold on.
one close by.
Let's focus here. In your little town, your little bubble where you're at, right there.
Yes.
Are you like famous?
Not famous.
she's
no.
famous in
My
the
family
house.
knows.
No, I
My
mean
family
when
knows a
you
lot of people.
when you walk into this Olive Garden, you're gonna see somebody you
It's
know,
gonna be
right?
whispers.
There's an ESPN.
I may have people that are my surfers that I went to high school with.
Okay.
or-
Wait,
This
you
is
still
where
work there?
no, hold on, stop it. Beto, don't botch the story. No,
Whoa,
see,
whoa.
Beto, you're botching the story
shade
by asking
there.
too many questions and not laying out. Here's what I was gonna ask: who are you expecting to see there? Very plainly, who you are not arriving with.
Oh.
I could see people in my people in my high school that I didn't get along with. That
And now they're serving you?
See,
You're gonna let
leave
them
it
serve
alone.
you?
Let it breathe, Beto. We're trying to do this.
Not a good idea.
Go on, Emily. Go on.
Well, they might not be my servers, but I didn't shoot. Again, there's a lot of people in my high school that are all over the place, and it's
Right.
not like they don't dislike me. As far as I know, I just didn't get along with them.
So this is where Beto. This is where, when you're at the table, you start dropping a lot of, oh well, in LA I do this, I do that.
Oh,
just
no,
loud
I'm
enough
not
so
gonna do
people
that.
can listen. You're not gonna know when you're in shot 4. You know what I'm saying? And telling somebody about how you're standing.
Do you know
on the
it's
pool
70
deck.
degrees in LA?
Yeah, exactly. You know what I'm saying, Beto?
Yeah, me
Like,
as I'm in a coat.
you know what it's like when you walk into a place and you see somebody that you're like, I don't really like that person, and I'm not in a position where they can do anything about it.
Yeah, I also may go out to the bar in our downtown area. and
Oh,
just,
she's going to flex, bro.
see
She's going to
no,
flex.
it's fun.
Are you pre-gaming with the cider?
I'm gonna pregame with cider, and then my sister's driving us to Olive Garden, and then my
You're going
Thinking
there
of
to
my
be
best friends in
petty.
high
I
school.
love it.
This is
it's
great.
great.
Beto.
I
It just
love
feeds
this.
my soul sometimes.
You
And
were-
it's like the joys of being a woman.
This.
You are going. Oh my god, this is my style. This is where I wish I would have left L.A. And understand
Right.
what it's like to be in a small town. I only know this from movies, right? Oh,
There's
my
Olive
God.
And
Garden
I'm not
Cheers
like
too,
this.
man.
I'm not in a super small.
No,
town.
but when you go back to a small town that you're
Yes.
from,
A small community.
and everybody's like, "Oh, she actually left. She's been on a plane." Oh yeah, they know all that stuff.
And also, the best part about it too, Emily, is that you're not like, for lack of a better term, you're not like some international superstar to the point where this would be tacky.
No.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
No.
you can show up and talk a little S, and everybody's just gotta wear it. You know what I mean? That's fun.
Yes.
Oh,
How big
And
is
it's
the
gonna
party?
Be a lot of it's gonna be 6 of us at the dinner table, and it's just yeah, it's gonna be fun.
You remember that Christmas movie from Ryan Reynolds?
I did not.
Just Friends from 2005, where he was.
never seen that.
Oh, this is so. I love this one. So he goes back to his hometown on the East Coast, I think in Jersey. He's in LA. He's a music executive, and he takes the crazy Taylor Swift girlfriend back home with him, and he's stuck in the small town, and he's like, I left this town. He's all big time because he goes back to the local bar. That's going to be Emily right there, acting like she's so LA right now. And the people in the town are like, hey, man, get over yourself.
That's half the
Oh,
reason.
yeah.
I'm mostly just gonna chat with my family.
No, you're
and
not.
it's
I
really
didn't know
fun.
you were this petty. I like
Hold
this
on.
side.
Are we?
Being petty's great.
Is there a dress code? What are we doing?
Olive Garden, get a flannel.
I mean, when you're here, you're
That's what I was
family.
gonna say, yeah.
I'm gonna probably just wear a little bit different than what I'm wearing now. I'm not gonna get that dressed up. I'm not gonna look great. I'm not gonna look all LA, but it's great.
A Taylor flannel situation.
She's gonna. She's walking in with the ESPN
Gonna
backpack.
come in with my plastic surgery on my face or something like that.
She's gonna leave her Rams credential
No.
on the bag. Oh yeah.
How hilarious would that be? That's great.
That's what
I
you
love
do
a
when you're a
good-
small town.
I love
Rams
a
polo.
good hometown show up. Exactly. Love a good hometown show up. Quickly here, Beto, is there a better quarterback in California than your boy Jay Herbo?
California.
Baker Mayfield.
Stop it. Get out of here, small town. See, you got to focus on your flannel and what the never-ending salad or breadsticks, whatever they got. All right. No, Herbert, man, he's so much fun to watch. He really is.
It's going to be pretty. I think
He's
honestly
generational.
think that's kind of where the reason I brought it up is because, look, whilst everybody might not be a Chargers fan, whilst everybody might have a problem with how Spanos runs his operation or whatever it may be,
Stay focused.
this Justin Herbert kid is pretty good, man. Do not let one's feelings about a franchise cloud your vision. not you, but one, listeners, cloud your vision on what we're looking at. He is a special player that knows how to deliver the football, that has a leadership quality that I think a lot of young men of his age do not have that are playing football at that high of a level. And I think that it shows on the Chargers. I'm going to have a lot of fun watching them, whether or not I care about them aside. This is a good thing for the NFL overall to have them in the playoffs.
So when he was at Oregon, he was getting that Heisman campaign a little bit. He was making some noise. And you're watching Tua at Alabama. And, yeah, Tua's getting all the hype, all this stuff. I kept thinking, like, dude, please take Tua if you're Miami.
Right.
6-foot quarterback that runs like that, that's not the kind of quarterback I want. So
That's not for me.
That's not for me. And you're seeing this right now, right? He's getting beat up. He's back in the concussion protocol. If you were Miami, would you rather have Herbert?
Yeah. I don't think that they're, they do all those weird redrafts now.
Yeah.
Where it's like, oh, we could redraft. I don't even really understand that concept, but I don't think there's any way in saying that Herbert is not the better quarterback than Tua right now.
Yeah, and
whether or not Tua is unfairly affected because he can't play is not even the point. The point is that Herbert can play and is playing, and they're in the playoffs.
And the thing with the Herbert is he's not going to be out in L.A. He's not in the streets, as we would say, right? You don't know where
remotely.
He's at. He's somewhere in Orange County in his townhome probably and just reading coverages, right?
Playbooks.
He's reading playbooks. He's doing everything else. Like the Spanish broadcasters, my good friend Adrian Garcia Marquez tells me that Herbert's learning a little bit of Spanish, so he can start doing those kind of things. And you see him out there. And this Charger team, look, we're not trying to hype them up and saying they're going to win the Super Bowl or anything like that.
No.
But they're fun to watch. That story by our good friend Lindsay Theory that she wrote about the defense and Khalil Mack organizing team dinners down in Orange County where they're going to Mastro's or they're going to Nobu. It's the Friday night defense dinner where Mac picks up the bill. And go ahead and read it by Lindsay Theory. Fantastic. Where it's whatever you guys want, go for it. You want the sushi? Go for it. You want the Wagyu? Go for it. And they're taking the rookies out there. It's fantastic.
It's like the opposite of the rookie hazing.
Exactly. And Mac is like, don't worry about it. Pay for it. He learned it from Charles Woodson. Pro's pro, right? Hall of Famer. Has his own wife. Shout out to him. But you started reading the story more and more, and the offensive players are like, hey, the defense is bonding. What about us? Because the offense had they're not exactly in sync. The offensive guys started going. Herbert started going to these dinners, and they started figuring things out, and it's just the team. If they can go a little bit more deeper into the playoffs, you can get that momentum, and you start losing that Chargerian way.
Yeah, it's very true. It's sort of like how Emily's going to show up to Olive Garden. It's all on me. I'm the big
easy
shot
there. But she should. Oh, you got to pay too, Emily. You have to pay for everybody you see. If you see somebody that you don't like, send them a drink. Be petty. Here you go. Here's a Long Island woman.
Yeah. I'll send it to them, and I'll be like, hey, tell us from Emily from L.A.
Oh, Silver Lake. You got to go Silver Lake, wherever that's at.
Oh, yeah. No, they don't even know where that is. Yeah.
Exactly.
Coming up, it's The Dump. It's Travis and Sliwa, Beto and Clinton, 710 ESPN.
710 ESPN. As we get ready for 2023, don't forget to make the New Year's resolution.
Hey, Laker fans, John Ireland here. Have you downloaded the new ESPN LA app? You got to get this thing. It's great. You can get Travis and Sliwa, Mason and Ireland, Sedano and Cap, and all of our Lakers talk with Slee right in the palm of your hand.
You're just one tap away from everything Lakers. You could even win Lakers tickets.
React to the Lakers on ESPN LA app.
Download the new ESPN LA app in the App Store or on Google Play.
What color is Rudolph's nose?
Come on, Keith.
It's red.
It's red.
There you go. Who did Michael Jackson see kissing Santa Claus?
His mother.
No, mommy.
Mommy.
I saw mommy.
A mother,
kissing
but I said mother,
Santa
mommy,
Claus.
same thing.
Santa Claus.
Yeah.
Good.
Mommy, mother, kissing
Well,
Santa
it's
Claus.
mommy. It's not mother.
Well, it's the same thing.
How do you say Merry Christmas in Spanish?
Merry Christmas. Oh yeah, that's right. Feliz Navidad. I knew that in elementary school. What am I thinking?
You worked with producer Jorge for years. He
Yeah,
taught you.
sure.
He taught you.
Name Santa's reindeers.
Oh boy.
Oh God, yeah. So you got Rudolph, Pixar or somebody like that?
Blitzen.
Donner?
Donner?
No, not the Donner.
No?
No.
Oh.
No.
Flixer or something.
We got Rudolph.
Flixer. Man, I don't remember.
Finish the lyrics. I just want you for my own, more than you could ever know.
My Christmas. No, my Mariah Carey.
Yeah, but finish the lyrics.
All I want
for you Christmas is you. Yeah, Mariah. I knew it was Mariah.
Good job, Keeks.
Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, and thanks for tuning in each and every single morning on 710 ESPN.
Time for everything we haven't gotten to today. Yes, it's time for the dump.
All right, guys. So, J.J. Watt will be retiring after this season. He announced on Instagram. Do you guys have any thoughts on J.J. Watt? Any memories of him as a player?
I like J.J. Watt. I don't love J.J. Watt. I always found J.J. Watt to be a little bit of a look-at-me guy. But I did think it was cool that they just had a child, he and his wife, and his child went to his first NFL game, which is going to be, I think, J.J. Watt's second to last or last. So, pretty cool that he's, realizing what life is about and, moving on, because that's sometimes football players, especially guys like that, have a little trouble letting go.
Yeah, Hall of Famer, without a doubt, the way he gets after it. Did a lot for the Houston community. He's loved in Houston. And that just goes to show when you go to Arizona, doesn't matter what sport, you go there to end your career and get paid. That's what Arizona sports
retire.
Are. Yeah, you go there.
Yeah.
You ever watch local news in Arizona? It's dudes who used to be in big markets, and it's like, all right, let me collect that check towards the end of retirement.
I also do love how
I'm
how the Watt parents did TJ, JJ, and then DJ. It's just like, okay, you got a little bit of a pattern here.
There's that one commercial where her mom has trouble delineating all of them. It's pretty funny.
Oh, right, yeah, the Subway commercial. So they have made it a fully automated McDonald's. No people working at all in the store. Will you guys ever go to someplace like this?
If that McDonald's has ice cream when I want it, heck yeah, I'm going to go. I can't remember the last time I got me a McFlurry because it's always like, oh, we're out of ice cream right now. So forget you, McDonald's, and then not having the ice cream soft serve machine ever working.
Are you also calling MTV to ask them to play music videos, you old man? Come on.
No, when you go to McDonald's, do they not? They never have the ice cream.
No. Operative word there is never. You know what I'm saying? I've never had McDonald's ice cream for that exact reason. But I'm just messing around.
You never had a McFlurry?
I've had, I guess that's true. I've had a McFlurry.
Come on.
Okay.
Are you?
I mean, McFlurry's very low on the general ice cream products thing.
McDonald's soft serve.
Frosty
ice
the
cream?
best?
Frosty from Wendy's? Nah. The McDonald's soft
Frosty's
serve?
great.
Frosties are incredible.
You're going to Olive Garden tonight, so don't even start with me with the Wendy's, all right? No, McDonald's soft serve, put a fry in it. Oh, my gosh. So
I was going to say, yeah. Anyway, go ahead. What else we got?
So there was a article that came out that is the food that we have lost this year. So some food that
wouldn't
now
mind
is
if we lost Flurries, Beto. But
McFlurry, hey, man, you're a hater, bro.
So they're the Burger King's Chiking, the Chili's original chicken tenders.
Hold on,
it's,
what is Chiking?
Chiking.
Don't worry,
it's like
you're
a
not going to
big chicken sandwich.
You're not going to Burger King.
From yeah, and the Choco Taco. Honest
that was a hard one.
Honest Tea.
Yeah, it's out of business. And then McRib. And then the vanilla frosty. Any of these that are going to be a hard one for you guys that you're going to miss in the next coming year?
Honest Tea, I drank with some regularity, mainly because they had a cool name. But Honest Tea actually wasn't that good. Now that I think about it, so no, this is a fine list. What is the Chiking? I've never even heard of this.
It's Burger King, man. You ain't going.
Why do you keep saying that? I love Burger King. Burger
Really?
King is on the East.
I never heard anybody say they go to Burger King.
Because it's an East Coast thing. But go on. What is a Chiking? I don't even know what that is.
It's essentially just the Burger King's version of a chicken sandwich. It's just a really big, crispy chicken sandwich, and I guess they're going away with it this next year.
And
it couldn't compete in the chicken sandwich. Yeah.
Like, that's what we're supposed to be saying. Like, it sounds like chicken.
No wonder
like,
it
that's
failed.
Terrible. I was gonna say. I'm like, please, there has to be more here. This sounds ridiculous. I can't even say that with a straight face.
Yeah,
it is ridiculous.
The Choco Taco was cool when you were a kid, and people on Instagram were like, "Oh, how are they gonna get rid of it?" I'm like, if you guys would buy it, they wouldn't stop making it. Simple as that.
Right.
The food's going away for a reason.
That's funny.
Right, exactly. So Paramount Plus made a 3-hour-long video that is just the Muscle Beach scene from Top Gun Maverick. Great. It's lovely. Just 3 hours just to entertain yourself. And not that I've watched it or anything, but it is a great thing to counteract your mother videos.
Wait, hold on. So explain to me the setup of this video, since you've clearly watched it quite a few times.
Yeah, clearly. So Paramount Plus is now the home of Top Gun Maverick, and so they did just a 3-hour-long, and it's just that scene on a loop of like Miles Teller shaking his abs in front of everybody's face. It's lovely. Like I've never even seen Top Gun Maverick.
It's not like an extended cut, like separate version where they actually worked out for 3 hours, because that would be awesome with HD cameras.
It's just it on a loop. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you guys see Top Gun Maverick?
Yes.
I've not seen Top Gun Maverick.
I actually watched it on a plane, so it was good.
Did you like it?
Yeah, I liked it. I dug it.
There are people in my life that hate me because I've yet to see that movie, but I've also never seen Top Gun either.
I've also never seen Star Wars, so I'm good.
I'm not rushing to the studio. Right.
Exactly.
Arnold Schwarzenegger was on Muscle Beach recently, though, working out. Old school style.
That's a Michael Thompson kind of thing. Muscle Beach Venice and all that good stuff. There you go.
That's where I live, so it's a Clinton Yates kind of thing, too.
Yeah. I got one for you, Emily.
Go ahead.
All right. You ever heard of East Bay?
Of course.
I don't think
the
so.
magazine, right?
Yeah, East Bay. So, Emily, before you could go online, there was this magazine called East Bay that would have all you needed right there. That's where you would go shopping in your mind, right? Because if you're a kid, that's where they would have like the Grant Hills, the Filas.
It was a catalog.
It was a catalog.
Like the Sears Roebuck catalog?
But of the cool stuff that you wanted for sports and shoes.
It was only for sports.
Yeah, it was only for sports. So when the East Bay catalog would come in, you're like, wow, you would circle everything, knowing damn well you weren't getting nothing, right? So East Bay is going to cease to operate at the end of 2022. So people in their late 30s and 40s, it's a sad day for us on Twitter because everybody's having the nostalgia. But imagine, before the internet, they would show all the cool shoes. And it was actually started off as a company that was selling team athletics. So at the back of the magazine,
I think you're describing it in a way that's a little different. The cool thing for us was that we would look at it and say, okay, well maybe we can get these for our squad, Beto. You know what I'm saying? Because it wasn't the super top of line stuff in the context of oh my God, these expensive Jordans, because it was a different time, Emily. It was you can get all these and your team can look kitted out. You know what I'm saying? That was the cool part. I love that. I loved these.
So you would have that in the back would be okay, here's where you're gonna buy the green Nikes, the blue Nike, the team. They would sell wrestling and track spikes, but it was cool when you would see when Nike Air those shoes that just said Air. I was like, oh my God, those are great.
The Pippins.
They were the Pippins, right? So you would think you were gonna get them, then you go to the mall and you're like, damn, they don't even have these.
Yeah, you can only get them on East Bay.
You had to go on East Bay. East Bay was too expensive. You weren't having.
Did you guys get anything from it? Did you guys ever actually purchase anything from it?
Our senior year, our team got our soccer uniforms for sure
nice.
from East Bay. Yeah.
Yeah, it was. Did I ever get anything out of that? My mom was like, nope. You got to pay shipping and handling. Nope.
It was great.
No thanks.
It was a time. It was a time. It was a time.
It was the original sneakers.
It's hard to describe what the feeling was like of opening up an East Bay and looking at it with your friends and being like, "Yo, that's the joint."
And then you always had that one friend that actually got the stuff from there. Like, man, forget you, Gary.
So I'm gonna have Taylor play this for you guys. But there was the Charlotte Hornets announcer has been in the news many times because he goes crazy. He's lovely. Yeah,
Eric Collins.
Yep.
Yes.
Former Dodger announcer.
Awesome. So he had, quite the exclamation over this weekend.
Long one. Woo! All right.
from Beaverton. LaMelo got it from 40. Play that again.
Don't you love that?
Long one. Woo! All right, from Beaverton. LaMelo got it. That sounded like a celebration of somebody doing something completely different. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know. That's what happens when somebody tells you they're going to take you on a trip to, I don't know, Olive Garden. Like, that's not what you think about with somebody bearing an NBA 3.
Oh, man.
That was great.
Yeah.
That was great.
No, good. I like that Eric Collins is allowed to be himself because
He's hilarious.
He's really good, but then if you hear him when before he would do the Hornets, he was very down the middle, not neutral broadcaster man, right? And most times in our business, you're told don't be yourself, a la Gus Johnson or Eric Collins, and that's who they really are. And shout out to him for being able to find his market and get after it. And he's very, like I said, he was doing the Dodgers for a couple seasons. He would do the East Coast games when Vin stopped traveling. So real nice guy, and good for him. And yeah, he gets after it. Good for him.
All right, well, Beto,
Yeah,
you're
did
in
you guys
the
like
rooms.
the? Go ahead.
No, I'm listening to you.
What you got?
Did you guys see the Dirk statue that was premiered?
Yeah.
Dude, the Dirk statue is awesome.
Nice.
That's like the best statue I've seen in a basketball context in a long time. It's not easy to get that done, and from a construction standpoint, how do you make that thing prop up when he's leaning so far back? Tremendous job from the sculptor there. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, I kind of wish they would have done it. Remember when he had those photo shoots with the big baggy jeans? That would have been nice too.
All right, Taylor, hit the button. It's time for Super Crosstalk.
ESPN AM 710 Los Angeles. KRDC AM 1110 Pasadena, Los Angeles.
K256CX 99.1 FM Pasadena, Los Angeles.
It's the greatest segment in LA sports radio history.
Oh my God. When the shows come together for magic on the radio.
It will only grow stronger. Super Crosstalk.
Are we ready for Mason and Ireland to join Travis and Slee?
Super Crosstalk begin. It's time for Super Crosstalk.
What up, everybody? So I can only see one of you.
Yes.
And that's Beto.
Beto.
So, Mace, I hear your voice. What's up, dude? How are you?
Everything's good, man. How was Christmas?
Yeah?
Good?
Christmas was okay. I'm down with the sickness, as we're saying, so I've just been around my apartment by myself for the last couple of days.
Is that right? You got the big...
Yeah,
that's
big,
too bad.
Big Rona stopped by.
That's too bad.
She paid me a visit, but other than that, I've been watching Christmas movies.
Okay.
The past couple days, and I watched a movie called Love Hard. We were talking about this earlier, which is named so
It's a new
because the two primary characters, their favorite Christmas movies are Love Actually and Die Hard.
Oh,
it's pretty nice little flick.
I like that. I like
that.
that.
Right, I enjoyed it. So it was
we
fun.
had the annual watching of Love Actually at our house. We do it every single year. I picked this up from Ireland. I was never a big fan of the movie, and then Ireland thinks it's like the greatest thing in history, and we started watching, and we were like, you know what? This is kind of, for Christmas, the greatest thing in history. Everybody winds up mostly happy at the end. There are a couple of sad stories, but for the most part, it's very uplifting and very... Oh, okay. So now I see. There we go.
There you go, buddy.
Hey, what's
We're waving
up?
at each other via Zoom.
I'm
For
wearing my
listening.
jammies today.
Yeah.
I'm
So
wearing
am I.
sweats and a really baggy hoodie. Well, I guess that's kind of normal.
This is
isn't it?
different from what
Yeah,
day?
you're right. It's
I actually was going to give you a compliment. That's a nice hoodie that
It's
you
a
got.
good point. Yeah,
LA
this is my-
2028. You're
LA
ready for Olympics.
2028. That's when I retire. LA 2028.
No, you're not.
Yeah, 2028. That seems like a good run.
Are you going to
Finish
work the
with
Olympics?
Yes, going to
That
work
is a good
the
run.
Olympics.
Can you give me a job? I want to do it.
Yeah, I'll hook you up.
Okay, cool. That's the only thing I need to do. After that, I'm going to disappear.
You want to do the 2028 Olympics and then disappear?
Yeah, that's the only thing I haven't done in my career that I want to do is the Olympics. And
LA
then
is
I want to
perfect
work on it, and then after that, bye.
I will,
One-way
I will
ticket.
totally tee you up for that.
Perfect.
It's going to be fun.
Okay.
So,
how was your Christmas, Mace? What did you do?
It was good.
Baker Mayfield. Woo!
Went to SoFi Stadium and watched Baker Mayfield absolutely shred the Denver Broncos. It was a very fun day. Juan's dad is a Broncos season ticket holder. And he and his stepmom, Juan's stepmom, go to the games all the time. So they flew in for the game itself, and I felt bad for them because they flew all the way to L.A. and lost 55-14.
Yeah, great game.
But it was a great game. It was one of the fun games of the year. I was glad I was there for it. Baker Mayfield was fantastic. Cam Akers was really good in that game. Wow. There were a lot of reasons to like what you saw, and I came away from it thinking, Les Snead has really never spent on a backup quarterback. I think it's time to spend on a backup quarterback because who knows with Matthew Stafford.
Baker made some money that day.
Yes, he did. Yeah.
You know, it's an interesting question because I kind of think I'm not saying you're looking past Stafford, but on some level you kind of are. You know what I'm saying? Because this guy's up there in age. You've already gotten your ring. It's not like he's going to turn back the clock necessarily. It's a matter of putting other pieces around him. But I just don't know that Baker's the guy. That's a tough one.
Well, I don't know. Look, I think Baker becomes the emergency brake glass guy. I mean,
Gotcha.
I think you need somebody. You need somebody of Baker's caliber, or for example, Teddy Bridgewater, or somebody who's done it before to be the guy that you go to in a situation where Stafford does wind up hurt and Kelly says you're done.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. Momo's
hey,
here.
What's going on?
Hey, Momo.
It is amazing. I don't even have to wear headphones. Your headphones are so loud. I can hear Clinton through your headphones.
No headphones necessary.
How are you, Momo? How have your holidays been?
I was good. You know what? Yesterday I felt like was such a Christmas gift for everyone. It was like 80 degrees.
Yeah.
I went to the beach yesterday.
That's beautiful.
Took Daniel up to Ventura. It was like nice.
Okay.
I mean, and I know it's gonna rain for the rest of the week, but that was such a nice little Christmas present for all the kids out on vacation.
Yeah, that's cool.
Also,
don't you ever feel like such a jerk? Like we live in California, and it's 80
He said don't do it.
This is what I was trying to say, Momo. I was talking with Beto about this earlier. Like, I got people out here talking trash, and I'm not talking trash, but I almost felt bad.
Yeah,
I did.
I'm
I gloated.
laying in my bed.
I golfed and I posted the picture.
I'm
Nice.
watching people
to the beach and
slip
posted
and
the
slide
picture.
all over Seattle on all this ice, and I'm just like, oh my God, this looks terrible.
Juan's dad came from Wyoming, and the wind chill was minus 40 when they left Wyoming, and then all of a sudden they land in 80-degree weather.
Yeah.
It was like a 120-degree swing.
Are they still here?
Yeah, they're still here.
Yeah, why
Were
would
they
you
stuck
ever
or they
leave?
were staying?
They're stuck. They're flying southwest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My friend, everyone's getting
Everybody.
stuck. I've been trying to get up to Reno for the past week, and you can't go. All the flights.
Yeah,
are canceled.
all the flights
canceled.
gone.
Can't go anywhere.
So here's a question for you guys. I was going to bring this up. So Juan's dad loves celebrities. It's like he's really wants to see a celebrity really bad.
Okay.
Now we got to see one because we sat next
All
to
right.
Logan Paul at the Rams game.
Oh,
which
okay.
was cool and super nice guy.
Does he count?
What about TV's
But
Clinton
does he
Yates?
know him?
Yeah. Okay, well,
Do they
yes,
know
there's-
Logan Paul?
No, they don't. I didn't know Logan Paul, but they did have a brief conversation. Meanwhile, the phone's going back and forth. 25 million followers. I didn't even know who Logan Paul.
Yeah,
there's
he's
a
in my
brother
room.
named-
Yeah,
He's in the
Momo,
boxing room,
television's
so.
Clinton Yates is not up to the standards of what they're looking
Yeah,
for.
no,
not even close.
They were psyched about Logan, but I'm like, they're in town now.
Okay.
Where could they go tonight
Tonight.
that would guarantee them a celebrity? A dinner tonight.
Craig's on Melrose.
Craig's on Melrose.
I think that is where the TMZ guys hang out. Somewhere.
Is it?
Yeah, don't you think?
Yeah.
I don't think
Or
sending
somewhere in
people from
Beverly Hills.
Wyoming there is going to
Why
work.
not?
Somewhere in Beverly Hills.
Are
might
they
also-
Craig's kind of people, Mace?
No, they're like me. They're like normal people.
I mean, the
Okay, how
easiest
about-
answer for
how
this
about a-
always is the Beverly Hilton. And go to the
Oh,
hotel
yeah,
bar.
yeah.
The Beverly Hilton Hotel Bar has famous people at it all. the
True.
Is that where
Yeah.
the Polo Lounge is?
No, that's the Beverly
no.
Hills Hotel Polo.
Yeah,
Lounge.
which also is
Yeah.
a pretty good location.
You
for
could
that.
find
Yeah.
somebody there, and I would say, what's another
Lindsay
Beverly
thought
Hills?
Nobu.
Nobu, yeah. Fred Siegel. If you walk through Fred Siegel for shopping, might see
Yeah,
somebody
Nobu
there.
goes.
Santa
Nobu's
Monica's
also-
too crowded. Nobody
Yeah.
goes there anymore.
Yeah, I understand.
It
that.
is the
Yogi
ultimate.
Bear.
It is the Yogi Bear,
Yeah,
isn't
yeah,
it?
yeah.
Like L.A. people don't go to the Third
No,
Street Promenade.
nobody
No.
go- yeah, it's
People
only
from the middle of the
tourists.
country go
Yeah.
to the Third Street Promenade.
Yeah, or if you live over there, I go there
Mm-hmm.
for some regular. I see what you're saying though, only because I'm close to it. But I think my question to you is: are they looking for like a sighting or like an interaction?
Oh, a sight, just a
Just a
sighting.
sighting.
They're not
Okay.
gonna have a. They're not gonna walk up to Clooney and say, "What's up? We're from Wyoming."
How about you know what? Another good one, low key.
Yeah.
Aroma Cafe out there in Studio City.
Damn, I have no clue what you guys are
Okay,
talking
so
know
you're
what that
saying
is.
That's like a little
where's
village.
Craig's? Craig's is
on Melrose.
On
That's
Melrose.
like in Beverly Hills. Aroma Cafe to
Beverly
me, like
Hills.
last
But
time I
are
was there, I
celebrities
saw
going to dinner this week?
just need one, even
like
just a marginal
this little
one.
area. It's like in the valley. Okay.
Yeah.
I know you have to go over the hill.
Don't do it.
No.
Okay.
To go to the you're in
But-
Santa Monica. No.
Like
West Side.
whenever I go there, I
All day?
always see this little area of Studio City is like kind of actors alley. Like I saw Adam Sandler there last time I was
Okay,
there. Yeah.
okay.
I mean, there's always if you just sit out there and get a table. It's gonna be raining though.
It's probably good.
And
again, Steve, it's in the valley.
Sure. It's in the valley. It always rains.
Steve
in the
has to
valley,
take 'em.
doesn't it?
Yeah, I think you're gonna have to go to Craig's or somewhere indoors.
Craig's is a good idea.
Yeah.
No, I like the hotel part.
The hotel's good too. Polo Lounge.
Hotel bars are good for
And
that.
you can just
I don't
see.
think Polo Lounge is like old though.
Yeah, Beverly Hilton. What you do, Steve, is like, oh, there goes so and so as they're driving away in a Lamborghini, and just tell them that was the guy from.
Hey,
yeah. Oh, you didn't see him?
No,
that was Ray Romano.
Exactly.
Oh.
Well,
Ray
I feel
Romano.
like we got him close to Logan Paul, which is he's a celebrity, right?
In that
We
world,
know
in
who
the
he
YouTube
is.
world, yeah.
We know who he
Yeah,
is.
he's a celebrity.
Yeah.
I would say so.
See, Wyoming folks want to see like, oh, that's the person from Murder
Hey,
She Wrote.
How about, I show you,
Yeah.
how about I show you a picture of Adam Sandler that I took last time I went to Aroma Cafe?
Well, you just randomly took a picture.
You're
Well,
of
he
still
was
doing
sitting
that,
at the
Momo?
table next
He knows
to me.
you. And did you?
Did you
say
ask him to be in a
anything?
movie?
Yeah, hold on. Do you
Wait a
not
minute.
know Adam Sandler? He's
He
a
knows
huge
you.
basketball guy.
I'm surprised you weren't in his movie.
So Momo, you don't
I
know him. You
actually
didn't
auditioned
talk
for
to
his
him,
movie
and
and
you
I
took a
didn't get it.
picture with him
Wait, you auditioned for the movie
I did. It was weird.
for Hustle.
to play yourself?
No, it was so random. It was like a pandemic thing. And my agent hit me and said, hey, this is a really random thing that we have, but they're casting this movie. It's a basketball movie, and they want to just put a lot of like Easter eggs in there so people who are like basketball people.
Mm-hmm.
But they want you for like a real role. Like, do you know how to act? And I was like, not really. But like, I could pretend, you know?
all
Right,
grown
it's
up.
That's
acting.
what acting is, by the way.
Yeah.
He's
I
just
know.
pretending.
Like,
the fact that she said my agent hit me
Yeah.
and said, "Hey, you want to be in this?" Like, I'm so proud of you,
Oh,
Ramona.
thank you.
When you and I used to be getting yelled at by Ed Crogeron at Birmingham High in the early 2000s. Look at you.
So,
my
so
agent
I literally.
hit me.
But do you want to hear how how dumb this thing was?
Sure.
Nevin
Yes.
and I read lines on Zoom. Okay,
Right.
we had to like record ourselves like a tape thing on Zoom, and they were like, I did my own hair and makeup because it was like totally in the middle of 2020 when they were
right.
auditioning, and it was for a role they ended up casting a real actress for. They didn't get an Easter egg person. I think they had a few like sports writer types
Right.
who cover basketball be like
By the way,
audition for this.
very underrated movie.
It was actually really good.
I thought
Yeah.
it was
I liked
really
KG
good.
was good in it.
Yeah.
And who was the actor? Was who was the actor that played the lead?
Hernan Gomez.
Yeah, Willie Hernan Gomez,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Yeah, he was
And
good.
Anthony Edwards was
Yeah.
really good in it too. Yeah, it's a good
It
movie.
was a
It's
good
on
movie.
Netflix.
I was surprised.
Yeah, yeah.
Degenerate gambler. That was my style right there.
There you go.
That's my new role.
Here,
That's what I want to
here.
do.
This is the picture I took of that shit.
Momo, you are such a tourist.
Describe this photograph. 'cause
So,
there's no way I
so
can see it.
bad.
So Momo
He's wearing
is,
the highlighter
yeah.
yellow.
Momo is sitting at a table, and then off in the distance there's Adam Sandler, and Momo takes a picture. Conceivably of your coffee with
Yes.
Sandler in the background. This isn't like, hey, look. I
Just
met
text
Adam.
it to me. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't
It's
hold
pretty
on.
great.
Okay.
Here,
Yeah,
just,
no,
here,
I'll-
I'll take.
Yeah, this is chaotic.
Yeah,
There's
that's
different.
pretty great.
Using
different
YouTube
streams.
and all this stuff. And,
Wow. Okay.
yeah.
I didn't.
I'm surprised you're that much of a tourist, Ramona.
You know who I saw? I
It's
did
Adam
see a
Sandler,
celebrity.
That's pretty good.
I did
But
see a
you're
celebrity
Adam
recently, and
Sandler.
I freaked out. I almost did the same thing.
Who?
I saw the woman who plays the mom content. I've been talking about moms all day.
Yeah, I heard.
saw the woman who plays the mom in Cobra Kai.
Nice.
And she was I can't remember her name right now. She was at the restaurant that I was at, and I was with my sister, my younger sister, and I was like, my sister was like, "What are you doing?"
Something
I was like,
Hegler, right?
I was like, "There's
Courtney
a person
Hegler?
behind this person." No, she's Latina. She's got a different name. And I was like, "There's a person behind me. Look." And she was like, yeah,
Oh,
whatever.
Vanessa Rubio.
Her.
Yeah.
And I was like, I was legitimately like moved. I was like, I don't know what to do. I was like, should I turn around and say something? I was like, should I take a picture? I was a little bit confused. That was the first time that had happened to me in a long time.
A little
Especially
starstruck?
not-
Yeah.
Yeah, I was
think
very
you could walk
starstruck.
up to
Oh,
her
I
and
thought you
say,
were
"Can I get a
thinking you had a
picture?"
chance.
Well, this was part of the discussion. I mean, she was there with some
See,
other person.
okay, good.
And I was just kind of like, I mean, shots could be shot. But
Yeah,
that
because I
wasn't
don't
really
see
what-
Clinton being like, "Oh, that's so and so." I
No,
think Clinton
no.
going,
I was
"Oh, that's
not
so
like,
and so." Hey,
yeah, I was trying to
sup?
figure out like, am I actually going to say something to this person?
How
or
you
not?
doing?
You know what I'm saying?
I
So
never know
did.
how to break into a
Okay,
conversation.
so I didn't do it. So
Okay.
I left Adam alone. I was sitting out of eyesight, and he was there with, I think it's his wife or girlfriend. I don't know if they're
Wife.
married. Yeah, wife. And they ordered like so much food. I was like, wow, that's a lot of food. Did you like? It was like appetizer and a big old whatever, and so he was sitting kind of off there, and nobody bothered him. Like nobody went up and asked for pictures. Like it was just, but
yes,
but
he's a star in L.A. Nobody,
Yeah, they're used to
everybody
it.
acts cool.
In the
So
Valley,
what
in
was-
Studio City.
Yeah.
Woo!
But he was like wearing sweats and like a hoodie and some shorts.
Mason.
But the hoodie was bright yellow. So I'm kind of like, I don't know.
But
that's
that's
like
what he
mixed
does.
messaging, isn't it? Like,
Looks like he was out for a jog, honestly.
But that's how he
neon.
dresses. He just grabs whatever and goes.
but you wear a bright yellow hoodie, like
just throw it
it's
on.
kind of makes you stand out,
I had
right?
I
if
never
you think about it, if you're trying to blend in, I wouldn't wear bright yellow.
I never know what to say to celebrities at all.
I just didn't
I
say
never have
anything.
any idea. So I wound up in a room where Jerry Seinfeld was. I went. I'm not going to drop names, but
again,
hit the actual Seinfeld drop. What are we doing?
But I actually so I went to see Bryan Cranston's play on Broadway, and he invited me backstage afterwards, and Jerry Seinfeld was in the room.
Okay.
I said, "Hi, Jerry. I'm Steve," and that was the end of the conversation. I had no idea what to say after that. I mean, that's friggin' Jerry Seinfeld.
Yeah, you tell him, hey,
Yeah.
Timmy Trumpet sucks, bro.
Yeah.
That's what you tell him.
Yeah.
Well, he's a Mets fan. He'll talk Mets all day
Yeah,
long
he
with
will
you.
The
talk
best way to
Mets.
do it is just go straight in. Just be like, hey, man, I'm big fan. Don't mean to bother you. Just want to say hello.
Yeah.
Thanks for everything you do.
Like when I go and talk with my
Something like that.
when I talk with my celebrity friends, when I see them, I'm like, hey, I know Steve Mason.
Yeah. I'm
Hey,
sure that
I
goes
know
over.
Ramona Shelburne.
That's
Let
big.
me. What if I told you?
What if I told you? Exactly. Are you guys back tomorrow?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, we
Why
are.
not?
Hey.
Two of us.
Nice.
Lot of TikTok and Christmas movie talks.
Yeah, I know. I heard all the TikTok stuff. I
We
wanna
even
get
mentioned
into
Rudy
some of that.
Valencia.
Yeah.
So you got homework. Rudy Valencia. I sent you the deal.
I'm gonna check them out. Absolutely.
All right.
All right, guys.
Guys, thank you.
Absolutely. We'll see everybody tomorrow.